The NFL regular season is finished. Does that mean that opportunities to make money here on Pub Sports Radio have come to an end? No!
The NFL playoffs are here, and so is the Pub Sports Radio Confidence Pool. $100 to enter, with only 3% going to cover credit card fees. And as always, top 10% gets paid.
There are 13 NFL playoff games culminating in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. 6 games in the wild card round, 4 in the divisional round, 2 in the conference round, and then the Super Bowl, which means you have 13 slots to fill. And you have to decide how confident you are on each game. Now, these picks are straight up. They are not against the spread. Each week, before the kickoff of the first game, you must have your picks in, pubsportsradio.com. So your most confident bet of the entire playoffs would fill your 13th slot. Your least confident spot, the one you question and you're not sure of, will be the number 1 slot. And you fill in these slots as we go through the playoffs. The capper with the most points, when it's all said and done, wins the confidence pool.
Sign up right now at pubsportsradio.com.
Get that cash. Get it. Get it.
Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for Pub Sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Upgrade your membership to gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his Schnoz up front. Keep Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken Smoke and Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is why here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Those one all coming down the advantage.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim.
112 Started from the corner, Peter Low Shack. Legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, better with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, January 8th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We got a college basketball game popping off in 22 minutes that we should get into right off the hop. But thank you guys all for joining us. Crip Key, Steve G coming off a 5-0 day. Beautiful in NHL. I love to hear it. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play today. SIU, Edwardsville. He's also moved on to Hofstra, Hampton. FDU, Coastal Carolina, West Georgia. Says West Georgia could win their conference this season, only second year in D1 play. We got the Hurricanes team total over for Justin McKelvey and Jazz Mavericks over as well. Rez Mob in the house. The nuke worker on the Hurricanes -3, and he took the Hurricanes plus 425 to win it all right after they beat the Buckeyes. Excellent work. Jose Perez, Ronnie Lofton, AOD, Thomas Rooney. He's on Ole Miss. He's on the other side. Rob Free in the house. Look, Dave Boston in the house. Look at that. Legend in the house. I love to see it. Thank you for joining us, my man. Viper MB, Nicholas Handy, Fernando Mendoza, Sham. What a great group. Swiggy talking about the confidence pool. Please sign up for the confidence pool. The more people in it, the more of these we can have. So please sign up for the confidence pool. Swiggy, let us know if anybody signs up for the confidence pool during the show so we can celebrate them. We have a great show today. We're going to start with this game here right away, this Hofstra Pride Towson, so we can get into this ASAP. But then we get into this giant NHL card with Bobano. After that, we get into college basketball with Morgan Spooner. Then we have NBA with Billy Brisbane. We got OG Swag in the house. There's Spooner right now. He's moved on that first game. We got Los Chudy, JPB, Sam in the house. Love to see everybody rocking here. And we have college football to close out the show. Obviously, everybody talking about college football semis, the Fiesta Bowl. So we're going to talk all about that. I'm going to copy and paste action as well here. So it was the good and the bad and the ugly for me last night. The good was a 7-2 night in NBA. We're really delivering there. Just under 60% on the year. ROI plus 12%. Likely unsustainable, but spectacular. And I got a couple buzzer beaters that cashed very, very nicely, which I'm thankful for. Then college basketball, I got absolutely murked. I got annihilated. You know what happens for me. I just sit and stare at the ceiling then all night. Lost a couple games by a half point. The 3-pointer by SMU, meaningless with 0.0 seconds left. Pushed the Clemson bet. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And I just can't let it continue. I need to swipe the slate clean. All the profits, of a season disappear in one day. The overall record is okay. Nothing to worry about, but it hurts. And I can't have it happen. It happened last year, a little bit later than this. So I need to wipe the slate clean. We know the psychology of losing. You reach, you stretch, you make extra bets, you do things that aren't helpful to your bankroll. So today we're going to hear from Morgan Spooner. We're going to hear Spooner's action. I'm going to wipe the slate clean and come back in action tomorrow. We got Kong in the house on Ole Miss plus 3.5 and Indiana minus 3.5. Nasty Nate says 76 more days till Pubapalooza 5. Jerry Davis in the house. So let's get to work here and let's set this game up. I did not tell Bobano that we were starting with this game. You know that he can cap everything. If he can jump up and rock with us, that would be wonderful. But let's get to work here. We start 12:30 p.m. Eastern with the Hofstra Pride 11-4, 2-0 in the CAA at the Towson Tigers 8-8, 0-3. We're in Towson, Maryland here for this one. And Morgan Spooner has moved on.
Muted, Jimmy. Yep, your mic's muted again. Cut out.
Thank you. Oh no, is this happening again? I'm gonna have to do a full. Let's bring on our first guest. I did not prep him for this, but thank you for telling me that. I got to. What the hell's going on with this? Let's bring on our first guest. Absolutely destroying NFL here on our show, NFL Pub Hub and NHL. But we're gonna quickly talk Hofstra Towson before we hammer through these NHL games. Without further ado, please welcome the star of the Ice Guy, star of the NBA OG show, and the star of the Hitting the Books YouTube channel, our guy, Ian Cameron. Bobano, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Good to be back. First time in the new year on this show on the Thursday spot. So good to be back and looking forward to this NHL card. It's a good one.
Getting my mics reset up.
Hot way to start the show.
Okay. There we go. I'm back in business. Great to see you. Bobano, my friend. We're going to quickly talk about this Hofstra spot. We have Spooner on Hofstra money line. We have a bunch of cappers here that are rocking with both sides of the fence. We have Hofstra, like Billy Friedrich. We have Towson. Jay Peasy here is on Towson. And I did not set Bobano up that we were going to talk about this game. It's sort of a last minute addition because I knew a lot of cappers wanted to talk about it. So let's just briefly touch on it for 2 minutes here, see if Bobano is moving on this one, and then we'll get into this giant NHL slate, which we will have to work quickly. 45 minutes we have Bobano for now, and we have 12 hockey games. But the Hofstra Pride have looked quite good. They're on a real legit winning streak. So when this line opened up the way it did, it was fishy. This Hofstra team has won 6 straight games. They've won 9 of 10. Only one of them was against non-Div 1 competition, of which Old Westbury, whoever the hell they are, they beat 92-23. So this is a team that's dominating their opposition, and yet the line's moving towards Towson. So Towson has lost 3 straight. It was a very ugly home performance against Monmouth, losing 62-48. You can imagine that this would be a bounce back spot of sorts. Let's take quickly a look at this line history. I had thought very closely about moving on Towson, and then, Spooner on the other side gave me pause. Also, it's the opening line that is the question mark, not the fact that it's moved a little bit now, but let's pull this up here, the line movement. And we're going to use our where we used to play poker. This opened up with Towson -1. Towson got up to -2, and then there was a flip. There was a flip about an hour ago. Towson gets the +1. Now Towson's right back at -2 again. So we've had big move towards not a big move, but the opening line was a surprise. You would think the line would move towards Hofstra. It is not. We have a 133.5 total here. And when we get to the cash flow for our first game on the board, 82% of the tickets, 65% of the cash on Hofstra, 64% of tickets on the under, 62% of cash on the under. The market certainly telling us that Towson is going to bounce back here, win their first conference game. I bet a bunch of teams yesterday that hadn't won a conference game, and it hurt me badly. It did not help. What do you think of this spot here, Bobano? Take it away.
That's the way I feel. I mean, I'm not betting against Hofstra. I don't give 2 shits about the spot. Spot be damned. I mean, I think Hofstra is the better team. I did not expect Towson to be struggling like this. so far. And it's their defensive game, which has been really good. I mean, they were basically everyone's pick to win this Coastal Athletic Association conference coming into the year. And we just haven't seen them play consistent, good basketball. And really, it's their defense that's kind of let them down. And we know this Hofstra team can score points. The one thing I will say is this is certainly a spot where maybe there's urgency. Maybe there's some desperation here for Towson. They're pretty good on their home court. So this is not a bet. This is a no bet for me. I'm not involved in the game. But I'm personally not interested going against Hofstra. I couldn't care less about, Towson being in a pretty good spot right now at this point in time. They got to show it to me first. But yeah, no bet for me.
We have Jose Perez talking about the Hofstra team total over 66.5 here, copy and pasting the action from Cappers in the chat. I mean, the market is certainly indicating that Towson is the bet. I do find simplifying things has helped me at
these
times.
Short home favorites, by the way, the last couple nights, they've been getting
crushed.
I mean, killed in these quote unquote better spots for what you may think's the inferior team. Look at Clemson last night. That was brutal. Look at Virginia Tech last night. And I was on Virginia. That was fucking brutal, man. They were up by almost 10. Looked like they were going to put Stanford away, and then they just fucking collapsed down the stretch. So I'm not buying it with Towson here. Like I said, it's Hofstra pass for me.
All right. Well, with what happened with me yesterday, I mean, clearly the market is happily accepting anybody who wants Hofstra. Despite that, I'm still not going to move on it here. So Jerry Davis says this is Kennesaw all over to me. That was the one good thing. Spooner and I are now 8-1 on our bets that have correlated, but one of my few wins last night. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes of sitting here and sitting.
It's a good game to watch, though. I'll have it on. I mean, I love it. 12:30 game. It's a pretty good game.
Nice.
It's a really good Hofstra team. It's a team that's supposed to be really good in Towson and in a backs against the wall spot. So, like I said, I'll be watching. Not betting, but I'll be watching.
JPZ, yeah, I let everybody know, JPZ, that you were on Towson, my man. Well, let's roll. Let's roll into NHL here. I'm going to sit with the game for a few more minutes. But it pops off in 11 minutes. Let's get into the National Hockey League here. And I'm going to be copying and pasting a ton of action. Kong, thank you for all the information on the college football game, which we will be talking about at the very end. Billy Friedrich saying Towson 4-10 against the spread. And let's roll. We start with the Calgary Flames, 18-21-4, 6-14-2 on the road to the Boston Bruins, 22-19-2, 12-8-1 at home, TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. So I don't expect Swayman to be between the pipes. They just finished this long road trip. I have no.
He isn't.
Oh,
It's Corpusalo.
Okay, so that makes sense. And then Swayman looked so good until that Seattle game, and he still made big saves in that game, but the Bruins just looked exhausted. So Corpusalo is in net, which is what I had the question mark besides Swayman anyways. Corpusalo 6-8-0, 3.60 goals against average, 882 save percentage, no shutouts here. Devin Cooley is going to be in between the pipes we expect for the Flames, and he is, with a much smaller sample size, being better than Wolf. 4-4-2, 2.40 goals against average, 914 save percentage. So I had, Wolf and Swayman listed, and I was like, there's no way they're going back with Wolf. I don't have confirmation of that, but Calgary power play, the worst in the National Hockey League, a big problem. Their penalty killing has been quite strong. The surprise has been Boston's power play. Now you see, Fraser Minton, the Vancouver boy. You see some of these guys, of course, Geeky. You're starting to see the young talent for the Bruins, and it becomes, pretty easy to explain why this power play was much better than I expected it to be. 79% penalty kill. Flames are on a back-to-back after losing 4-1 at Montreal last night. We have AM on the Flames money line plus 119. Says bet on teams losing its past 2 games while scoring at most 3 goals in each of those defeats. Bet them tonight if they're on the road with a money line that is better than minus 125. Steve G on the Bruins money line. This is game 2 of a 5-game trip for the Flames and their 3rd game in 4 nights. Bruins coming off a 7-4 loss at Seattle on Tuesday to close out their 5-game trip. The loss snapped a 2-game winning streak that came on the heels of a 6-game losing streak. So with all this being said and done, let's touch on the line history. Look, we all know what it's like to have a road trip out west and finish in Seattle on a Tuesday night. They fly back on Wednesday and have to play right away on Thursday. it does not create a situation where I'm itching to back the Boston Bruins, even though all I want to do is fade the Calgary Flames as much as possible. And I haven't done it enough. We have the Boston Bruins right now at minus 128. They opened up at minus 140. I get it. It's a bad spot for them, you know? And then I guess the Korpisalo news, even though it should have been expected, if you look at the way they have been rotating their goalies. We have a 6.5 here. This opened up at 6. I guess the announcement that Korpisalo's in moved it to 6.5. Ian Cameron, any moves for you here?
I mean, I have the over at a better number. There's a huge movement after Korpisalo was announced in, and now it's now it's 6 with Jute. The 6s are gone. So I do think there's goals, because I don't think Devin Cooley has played as well as we've seen in recent starts. The last couple he's been in, he hasn't been as good as he was early in the season. I don't trust Korpisalo. Don't look now. Calgary is giving up way too many quality chances. Look at that game last night against Montreal. If not for Dustin Wolf, that actually could have been 7 or 8 goals for Montreal last night. They are not defending well right now. So, we're taking a bit of a hit here with the worst of the number, but I'll still give it out as an official play here. We'll go Calgary, Boston over 6.5, even money, plus 100.
Calgary, Boston over 6.5. Even money at plus 100 here for Bobano over 6.5.
Bruins are starting to score again. Remember, they couldn't score to save their lives, and now they're starting to heat up again. They've scored here at the end of that road trip. It's impossible for a side for me. I mean, Calgary on a back-to-back with the backup goalie, Devin Cooley, Boston off a long road trip. These are 2 teams I want to bet against, so no bet on the side.
Yeah, no bet at all for me in this one. That's our first one. I have made 9 bets on the NHL card, but they don't come quickly. Let's move on to 7 p.m. Eastern. Florida Panthers. Dealing with injury issues now. Now, come on. I mean, they started the year absolutely annihilated, but they lose Seth Jones in the Winter Classic. They lose Brad Marchand, who's right now he's day-to-day. We don't know how long he'll be out for. They've handled the Barkov, Tkachuk, Kulikov situation. We're wondering if Tkachuk comes back against Ottawa to play his brother. We don't know if that's going to come to fruition, but and then we have the Habs on the second half of a back-to-back when we expect Dobish in that. So it's and also I just haven't had a good read on Florida. I feel like they're a team that's messed me up this year. Bobrovsky, .885 save percentage. He's not been very good. Maybe this is the spot where Montreal starts playing really good hockey. They're at this point, this is the first of a 4-game homestand. So they got a few games here at home. Why wouldn't they be able to put something together? They seem like a team that's a little bit less than the sum of their parts. And part of that is the injuries that they have been facing. These Habs are without Josh Anderson, who could be back here tonight with an upper body injury. Kirby Dach, Caden Gooley was the big loss. Laine lost. They lost him early, which hurt their power play. Jake Evans, who's a guy who can play all sorts of different important bottom 6 roles and penalty killing type roles. And they're on the second half of back-to-back here with the 8th ranked power play, the 20th ranked penalty kill. I could understand backing them here with Seth and Marchand out and all these injuries. I would just have to get over the fact that Dobish is in net. This 6 opened up at minus 113. It's now minus 114. And from a money line standpoint here, we have, look, the opening line. We've been talking about these opening lines that make no sense. The Towson opening line, the Lions opening up +2 in Chicago, which I couldn't bet the Bears. And what happens? The Lions beat them outright. Here, the Habs open up at +110 against this battered, beleaguered Panthers team. Bobano, take it away, my man.
Yeah, and they've also beaten Florida 6 straight times. I mean, they've actually owned the Florida Panthers. Not many teams can say that. Montreal can say that, and including a comeback win in overtime against the Florida Panthers in their last game. But you're right, the injuries.
9 days ago.
That was just 9 days ago, and it was an overtime win. Florida was up 2-0. Montreal came back and won that game in overtime for their 6th straight win in the series. I don't want to go against the series history. Florida's got injuries. And now Brad Marchand has just been ruled out, by the way. Brad Marchand is definitely out for the Panthers. Of course, he got injured in the game against Toronto, and still without Jones and Kulikov on the back end. Sergei Bobrovsky confirmed in net. I was on Montreal in that last meeting. It was a great spot. I expected them to play well. Montembeault got the start. He's got phenomenal numbers against his old team. It's the one team he plays very well against consistently, Sam Montembeault, when he plays Florida. I'd expect him to be in net because of that, but we haven't had confirmation of that just yet here for this game. I don't want to go against that Montreal series history. Florida is banged up, but here's the problem. Rapid revenge. Florida just lost recently to this Montreal team. They're off a terrible game against Toronto. Paul Maurice said we started slow and we got even slower. Very critical of his team's performance and effort against the Leafs. And if you watch that game, Toronto dominated them. It was one of the worst games Florida's played all year. I'm not sure against a team they just lost to recently and off one of their worst games of the year that I want to bet against Florida here, even with the injuries. So it's a pass for me, Jimmy. Nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It was the same sentiment that I had as well. Look, I might be reaching.
And back-to-back rest for Montreal, so it is a rest advantage here for Florida, too.
I might be reaching after a terrible day in college basketball, but I just moved on Towson money line. Ian, as we're trying to evolve as cappers constantly, never resting, always trying to get better and better and better. I went 7-2 last night in NBA. I could have very easily gone 5-4, but I took both the Magic and the Raptors on the money line instead of the -2 or 2.5 or 1.5, something that you do that you do constantly.
Yep.
I've been caught up in getting the VIG down. Now what I do is if I'm going to bet a money line, I just add a quarter or a half unit to the bet. Right. If I'm going to take, if I'm going to take on the money line, then, I add a quarter or a half unit. And so I'm doing it here with Towson. Lucky Lefty is on the Canadiens here. Kong, my man, I've copied and pasted all of your action or all of your comments on the college football game. Thank you so much for putting them in. And Action Jackson says, no, Marchand. I think these guys step the fuck up. That's the concern. Thank you, TJ. I will copy and paste your action. We got TJ on Buffalo, Calgary, Boston under 6.5, Edmonton money line, and Pittsburgh money line. We're going to be getting into those games very, very soon. You're just against me on Pittsburgh. That's the only spot that you're against me. And I almost stopped myself. But the last time the Devils did this, they did not cash the first period. It was against Pittsburgh, I believe. They went down 2-0 and then came back and won 3-2. Scored 3 goals in about 6 minutes. But we'll get into that. Let's go into Canucks Red Wings here. That's our next spot on the board here, Ian. Canucks 16-21-5, 12-9-2 on the road. Red Wings 25-15-4, 14-8-1 at home. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Look, I know now clearly that the Canucks are darlings to the Sharps. I see it so often, these 50-cent moves, these massive moves to the dog. So as much as I want to fade the Canucks, I know now to sit back and wait. I was very angry that I went 1-2 in that Canucks Sabres game. I had the under 6.5. I had the Canucks under 2.5. It was 3-0 going to the third period. I thought I was in complete business. I'm going to go 3-0 in that game. And sure enough, it's a 1-2 spot. AM is on the Canucks money line. Says it's a scoring drought bet. Bet on teams losing its past 2 games while scoring at most 3 goals in each of those defeats. Bet on them tonight if they're on the road with a money line that is better than -125. We have the third worst penalty kill in the National Hockey League going up against a dangerous Detroit power play. The Canucks coming off their 4th straight loss, 5-3 at Buffalo on Tuesday to begin their 6-game road trip. Red Wings coming off 5-3 win at the Senators on Monday, and they play at Montreal on Saturday night. So they're going to be heading over there. We have Demko, who's been playing okay, and Gibson. I think part of the Demko's issues are the defense.
They're actually at Toronto on Saturday night, then Montreal Monday.
Oh, Detroit does.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I was talking about Vancouver. You're talking about.
Yeah,
Detroit.
no,
Detroit
Vancouver.
at Montreal Saturday. Yeah.
Vancouver has the we got some fun Saturday night action. I'm very excited about the card Saturday night. But let's touch on this here quickly. We have a very tough injury report. Marco Rossi came back, didn't come back, but he was hurt at first, but he came back and he really helped them down the middle because Bluger and Hedel have been out. Garland is out. Forbor is out. Look, I just want to fade these Canucks every single opportunity I have, and I will fade them here. But at what point does this line stop moving? We've had a 52-cent move, just moved 48, but it was 42-cent move towards the Canucks. It's insane to me that the Red Wings opening up minus 180 makes sense to me. Sitting at minus 138 and down minus 137 is just nuts to me. I watch them play every game. They're so bad. This totals this. Now they try hard. I mean, Adam Foote's their coach. Don't think they have heart and soul and character. There's been an 11-cent move to the over. Ian Cameron, take it away here. Canucks Wings.
Yeah, I know we're tight for time because we've only got 30 minutes. We still got a ton of games left. So games like this where I have nothing, I'm going to keep it brief. What I would say is I think the value is shifting to Detroit now. I mean, I don't want Vancouver now after this kind of a line move. I'll say this, though, about Detroit. They're getting bailed out by good goaltending right now. They did not play well against Ottawa. In fact, they got dominated. If Ottawa's got any goaltending, Senators win that game. Detroit doesn't. So I think Detroit's level of play has slipped. They lost back-to-back to Pittsburgh. They got completely dominated in the second loss to Pittsburgh. They should have lost to Ottawa because they got outplayed pretty significantly. So I don't like the current form. The current form is in decline right now for the Detroit Red Wings. So this is a clear pass. I don't want Vancouver, and I don't want to lay this much with Detroit with their form declining.
Yeah, I mean, there's moves towards the Canucks and moves away from the Edmonton Oilers have been massive. I mean, we're talking 50-cent moves in these spots. Absolutely massive. Well, let's roll on here. I gotta tweet out this Towson action here, but let's roll on. Next spot for us is our guy Ronnie Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day here in NHL, and I agree completely with it. It's the Buffalo Sabres, and for me, I'm not.
Me too. It feels like everyone loves Buffalo here. I always get worried about that, but yeah,
I don't love Buffalo.
Yeah.
I know they've won 10 of 11. It's just that the New York Rangers have to be faded, I think, in every game moving forward. What do we know about Quick? Well, he's going to get hurt. He can't play every 2 nights. We know that. And this is going to hurt him. Lafreniere's sick. Adam Fox.
He's kept himself in tremendous condition, but you're right. He's still an older guy.
We've seen this.
Be asked to play
he just can't be a number one goalie for 6 weeks. He gets hurt every time. They're already out JT Miller. They're out Adam Fox. Adam Fox's coach and general manager did not pick him for Team USA. 8 defensemen were picked, and he's not one of them. I don't disagree with it at all. I backed the Sabres at Columbus. It felt easy. They come home for a 5-game homestand after this. Rangers coming off their 4th loss in 5 games, 3-2 at home in Utah, to Utah in overtime on Monday. They're playing better. They're playing better than the sum of their parts with these injuries. They're playing with heart and character. They're fighting out there. It's just not going to be enough. And Johnny Quick, watch this 2.23 goals against average, 919 save percentage. Watch this drop. I mean, I just don't see it capable of sticking around. And the spots, Bobano, that we're all on have been cashing at a high rate. It's changed from when I started. We've had a 9-cent move to the over 6. And then on the money line, we have Buffalo now minus 123. They opened up at minus 104, a 19-cent move towards them. Take it away, Bobano, my man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Buffalo here. Now, the price has moved a little bit. We're not getting as good as it was overnight, but best price right now I see is minus 118 on the Buffalo State. Let me just double check that. Minus 118 with Buffalo, so we'll lock that in. 11-1 in their last 12 games. What I liked about Buffalo is they had the streak-snapping loss to Columbus, and you think, is Buffalo going to go in the tank again? Is this the start of now a downfall again? And they bounced back. They beat Vancouver. They stopped the losing streak at 1. The Rangers are there's too many issues. Quick in net, a team that's looking slow, a team that's still only won 5 wins at home all year this year, still having issues at Madison Square Garden. Just can't score at home consistently. It looks like Lafreniere is going to play. There was some doubt he might miss the game, but at least he'll be back. JT Miller's going to be back as well. But like I said, how many times do we actually see when you get your captain and one of your best players back, you don't win the game? It's happened quite a bit. So and Buffalo, by the way, has had a crazy good track record at Madison Square Garden. They've actually won 3 of the last 4 times they've gone to MSG against the New York Rangers. So when I've got some of my New York Ranger fan friends of the Ice Guys show talking that they like Buffalo, I listen. So yeah, Buffalo minus 118 for me.
Buffalo minus 118 for Bobano. I didn't get a very good price. I was late. Just dealing with sickness and insomnia, and I got minus 120, so it's no different than what I got. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board here. Toronto Maple Leafs, Philadelphia Flyers. We're Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Here in Toronto, the old-timers, they call Nylander Mr. Casual. And they're a predictable hockey team with Nylander off the ice. They're going to play the unders. And they're going to play with heart, and they're going to back check, and they're going to hustle. Without McCabe and Tanev, this is exactly what we talked about last season, that it was an outlier that McCabe and Tanev could be healthy throughout the whole season, asking them to play all the tough minutes in the tough situations. They're both out. Dakota Joshua, he's not the same player since he became born again. We don't need to get into any of that stuff, but if you're going to be the tough guy, it'll help if you don't follow a mantra of nonviolence. If you do follow a mantra of nonviolence, it's very difficult for you to punch somebody in the face. And he doesn't punch people in the face anymore. And if you're a tough guy doesn't punch people in the face, get off my hockey team. He's hurt. Who cares? But McCabe and Tanev are out. That hurts them. And Nylander out takes away, Nylander won't be back checking. He might defensive mistakes, and then he'll snipe one. And it'll look like Pavel Bure doing it. He is a sniper of the highest quality. I've got Wool and Vladar listed. Wool, 913 save percentage. He's a quality goaltender if he can stay healthy. Vladar's been great this year. Well, good. Let's say good. Both teams have weak power plays. And this penalty killing unit from the Leafs has been very good this year. 84.1%, ranked 4th. The Philadelphia penalty kill is weak. If you think Toronto's power play is weak, take Nylander off of it. Now you're going to see them not score. They're coming off their 3rd win in 4 games, 4-1 at home over the Panthers on Tuesday. This is a one-off road game. They host the Canucks on Saturday's Hockey Night in Canada. They continue to deal with all these injuries. Flyers coming off their 3rd win in 4 games, 5-2 at home over the Ducks. This is game 2 of a 4-game homestand. They're playing the kind of hockey that wins hockey games, the Leafs. And you watched, I watched this accountable. They played so well in that win over the Panthers. They suffocated them. So I wanted the Flyers, but I think the Leafs might put a little streak together here without Nylander in the lineup. I did bet the first period under and the full game under, and I'm going to bet, like I told you guys with Tom Wilson and Protas out of the lineup, we're going to fade the Capitals every single hockey game without those 2 Giants in the lineup. And it didn't work the first night. It worked very easily last night. It's going to work. Here, I'm going to bet unders in Leafs games. I don't think they realize what it happens when Nylander's off the ice, because they're stronger defensively and they're weaker offensively. Perfect. Take it away, Bobano. Leafs, Flyers.
This is the old Lee Corso for me. Not so fast, my friend. I like over 5.5 here, and I'll explain my thinking with that. I think the Leafs are worse defensively without Tanev and McCabe. I do. I think they're worse defensively, and yes, they played phenomenal defensive hockey against Florida, but in a step-up spot against a team they hate Florida's guts for knocking them out in the playoffs. They stepped up for one night. Great. Well done. Let me see if you can do it again. Because one thing I know about this Leafs team, watching them over the years, they give you one intense 60-minute defensive effort. You don't always get it the very next game. And I'm a little bit worried about that here tonight for Toronto here in this game. I still think those are 2 big holes, to fill on that blue line. Everyone stepped up one night in a spot where everyone's dialed in because it's Florida on the other side. Let's see if you can do that here now on the road against a Philly team that's suddenly scoring goals in bunches. This is a good offensive team lately, the Philadelphia Flyers. They're getting contributions from everybody. Hell, Carl Grundstrom was on a goal streak for them for a little bit. And I can't avoid the series history. That's also what kind of tilted me in the over direction here. 8-2 to the over in the last 10 meetings. Toronto versus Philadelphia. You may not exactly expect that, but that's exactly what we've seen. So I will be against you on this one with over 5.5 minus 135 Leafs and Flyers. Hildeby, by the way, is going to be in net, it looks like, for Toronto. The Hildebeest for the Leafs. He's been solid, though. It's not the end of the world with him in net. Vladaru's been really good for Philly going into this game, but we'll bank on some series history, and we'll bank on Toronto feeling it tonight that there's no Tanev and no McCabe. Everyone stepped up, pulled up the bootstraps, dug in defensively, team-wide, all 12 forwards, all 6D against Florida, team they wanted to beat badly. I'll dare them to do it again here.
Let's roll. Now, Tanev's been out since the 28th of December. So it's not, and he was out for most of the season. So I don't feel, I mean, McCabe's been out since the 3rd of January. McCabe hurts them. But I love watching this
Florida,
team.
But they also blew a lead to the Islanders, and there was another game, too, where they gave up a shit ton of, Winnipeg. Winnipeg's not a juggernaut. They gave up how many goals in that game? What, 6, 5?
No, I get it. I just, we both watch these games. With Nylander off the ice, this is a very
there's no doubt. Actually, that point is true. I mean, there's no denying that. You lose something offensively, you maybe gain something as far as forward defensive prowess without him as well. Yeah,
I love it. It's fun. There's nothing wrong being on opposite sides. Part of the fun. Bobano on the over 5.5 at minus 135. I'm on the first period under 1.5 at plus 105, and the full game under 6 at minus 108. And this total is moving towards the over. The under 6 is now plus. Well, it's the Hildeby news. All right, let's roll on. Next spot on the board for us, Bobano, is New Jersey Devils and Pittsburgh Penguins, PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What's been hurting me is going up against streaks, and I can't help myself, and it's been hurting me. And I'm going up against the Penguins, and I'm going up against the Kraken, and maybe I'm just setting myself up for misery. Maybe it's just optional misery that I don't need to move on. We have it's Markstrom listed. I hope they go back to Markstrom because he just allowed 9 goals and was not pulled from the game. A 9-0 loss at the Islanders. Now, I don't know if this team has character and heart. I don't. I assume that they do. We have AM on the Devils' money line as well. Penguins coming off their 5th straight win, 5-4 in overtime at Columbus on Saturday. They have a 2nd overall power play, the 11th ranked penalty kill. They're playing very, very good hockey. There's no doubt about it. The best hockey that they've played this year. I don't trust them as a hockey team. They don't have much offensive depth, and now they've had Malcolm out for a while. McGroarty out as well with the concussion. And look, I moved on the Devils' first period and full game, minus 103 and plus 103. The same situation was here. We went through this, and I actually didn't cash the first period. The Devils did win that game 3-2 after getting annihilated and then playing Pittsburgh the next game. So here we go, Bobano, that the total for this one is at a 6. It's minus 115 to the over. This has not moved a cent since it became available yesterday at 1:23 p.m. So a very sharp line. And then we have the Devils at plus 102. They opened up at plus 101. They got up to plus 106. No movement on side or total. Take it away.
Yeah, this is this New Jersey team. There's some real issues, but God, don't you have to back them in this spot? Don't you have to? I mean, that was just such a horrendous loss. 9-0. I don't fully trust this Penguins team. I know Penguins have won 5 in a row, but this is not going to last. Remember, this is a Pittsburgh team that couldn't get out of their own way right before that as well. So I think for one night we have to trust New Jersey off one of the most terrible losses they've had all year can bounce back. By the way, the last time they were shut out 4-0 by Toronto, they bounced back the very next night on a back-to-back and beat Columbus 3-2.
Oh, it was Columbus.
That.
Yeah. That was it. When they were down 2-0, I lost the first period. I thought it was Pittsburgh in my head, but yeah, that was. And then they scored 3 goals in 5 minutes late in the second. Sorry, keep rolling, my man.
I'm on New Jersey first goal, first period in this game, and first period money line and full game money line, but I don't know if I want to triple up for the show. I don't mind doing that personally, but for the show, I think I'm just going to stick with the plus 104 New Jersey full game money line. That's going to be the one that I will make official. Personally, I've also got Devils first goal, first period, and first period money line in this game. I do think they come out strong. They almost have to after the debacle against the Islanders. To be quite honest with you, with Pittsburgh, they have done a lot of traveling lately as well. They've played 6 road games in their last 9 games, 2 road games, back home for 1, back on the road for 2, home for 2, back on the road for 2, back home. It's a lot of travel they've done. Maybe it shows up here. Devils have done well in this series as well. They've won 3 of the last 4 and 7-3 in the last 10 meetings over Pittsburgh. So, yeah, give me the Devils here. We'll trust them for one night. I still don't think they're very good, but tonight I'll back them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to catch their season point total under, although I lost it last year. TJ makes a fair point. Says, what about the other 2 times that?
That's true. Earlier in the season, they got shut out twice and shut out 2 other times and lost the next game.
And got shut out the next game. I just think
this is the worst loss of them all, though, of all the shutout losses. This is the worst.
Yeah. I mean, they lose 1-0 and then lose 6-3 the next game. They lose 3-0 and lose
year if they play bad tonight, because clearly he's not doing a good enough job from a leadership standpoint.
Oh, heads are about to roll. I just think that it's apples and oranges here.
Yeah.
And you're right, TJ. This team may have no heart. I didn't sit here going, this team's going to show their heart and character.
That's all I'm betting is their heart. I'm not betting their quality right now. That's
so am I, sure. Unfortunately. Let's roll on. Anaheim Ducks 21-19-3, 9-11-2 on the road to Carolina Hurricanes 26-14-3, 14-8-1 at home at Lenovo Center. I've got Dostal and Bussy listed. Dostal all of a sudden is a sieve. It's been funny watching this team fall apart.
Hasn't been the same since his injury. Not at all.
Sure hasn't. Now an .887 save percentage on the season. They've had poor special teams all year, and so have the Canes, although the Canes special teams are improving, which we were waiting for. Ducks coming off their 7th straight loss, 5-2 at the Flyers on Tuesday. I backed them in their first game against Washington. And Mrazek couldn't have played any worse. They've allowed 12 goals through the first 2 games of this road trip. And the Canes coming off their 2nd straight win, 6-3 home over the Dallas Stars on Tuesday. This is game 2 of a 3-game homestand. Look, I could be late to the party and early to the funeral. But I moved on the Carolina Hurricanes on the puck line. It's a simple, I'm sure it's a very public bet. I got plus 111. And I took it. There's been a slight move to the Ducks from plus 187 to plus 183. Maybe this is, again, just maybe I'm too late to the party. This 6.5 is minus 145 to the over in Anaheim, Carolina. Take it away for us here, Bobano, Canes, Ducks.
Yeah, over 6.5. Slammed a no-brainer for me to bet that. I bet it early because I knew the juice was going to change on that. And sure enough, I'm seeing minus 130 is the best out there, but I will still go with minus 130 right here on this over 6.5. I mean, what is it? 9 straight overs for Anaheim, 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games. They're just giving up way too many goals. I don't know if that changes too, because they just got Seth Jarvis back, and there's Carolina first game with Jarvis back in the lineup. They scored 6 against Dallas a couple nights ago, so their offense is clearly better with Jarvis on the ice for them. But they're still without Jacob Slavin, and that's still a huge hole. They also have been giving up goals more lately to Carolina. They haven't been shutting it down. Other than New Jersey, which isn't saying much, where they held them to 1 goal. They gave up 5 to Pittsburgh, 7 to Montreal, 5 to Colorado, 3 to Dallas, and they've been 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. So, yeah, there's nothing more to add. Over 6.5, minus 130. I don't think it's asking much for these teams to get to combine for 7.
You are in business, my friend, and I'm on the Canes puck line. Let's move on. Islanders, Nashville Predators. As much as I wanted to back the Devils after losing 9-0, I wanted to fade the Islanders after winning 9-0. Schaefer has messed my cap up because this is not a good hockey team. No Horvat. And then they have this 18-year-old kid playing good enough to star on Team Canada. If there's an injury, he will be on Team Canada. Just, watching 60, 70-year-old men tear up talking about Schaefer. Obviously, he's captured the emotions of so many people with the loss of his mom and how spectacular he's playing. He's playing phenomenal. He's playing at a Norris Trophy level. Now, they're not going to give the 18-year-old kid Norris Trophy. Now, Celebrini at 19 is going to be a finalist for the MVP. And what would happen in World Juniors? We have those 2 guys on. But I can't back Nashville after finishing a 7-game road trip of their own with a 6-2 loss. So this is game 1 of a 7-game road trip for the Islanders. Nashville coming off a 7-game road trip of their own. So this is game 1 of a 4-game homestand. So I can't do anything here. I'm sitting here. I feel like I'm just in shackles. Line history wise, we have a total of 5.5. It's -122 to the over. Sorokin's been great. I mean, Patrick Waugh's getting a lot out of his
David
hockey.
Riddick tonight. Riddick for the
it is
Islanders.
Riddick. Okay.
Yeah.
Riddick will be in net. Still, the 5.5 is just -122 to the over. And then we have a move to the Islanders. It's been bouncing all over the place. I guess there's been a 7-cent move since the Riddick announcement. Unless if that was just announced, because that 7-cent move happened 3 minutes ago. I don't know if it was just announced or was earlier, but +108. The Islanders open now. They're +100. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I like the over in the draw. Over in the draw here in this game at 5.5. I mean, the Islanders are heating up offensively. It's not just the 9 goals against Jersey, 4 against Toronto, starting to put the puck in the net. There's also a chance Bo Horvat's back for the Islanders tonight. He's traveling with the team on the road trip, so there's a chance Bo Horvat returns from his recent injury stint as well. Riddick, and I've got a sense this could be a Eustace Onanen start, and I'm not, because it hasn't been announced yet. Usually if it's Saros, we're going to know by now it's UC Saros. We haven't heard anything yet, so it makes me think we might see Eustace Onanen, and I don't trust that guy. His numbers are pretty. That's why I've pivoted here to the over 5.5, -118 here in this game. And I think this is a draw candidate. East versus West here in this matchup. It was 7-6 last year in Nashville between these two teams. Nashville beat the Islanders 7-6 in this building. It was a shootout between the two teams, but it also cashed the draw in that game. I think we've got that kind of potential here tonight. So the draw, just looking at the best price out there, it is +300.
+300. Bobano in on the draw in Islanders Predators. We move on to Oilers Winnipeg Jets. Now, I played the fool and backed the Jets against the Knights. Watching that game was so frustrating. And, watching the Knights score, on the power play very late in overtime was extremely frustrating. I don't really want to fade Winnipeg at home because of my ridiculous vividness bias of them being, look, they're 15-21-5. This team that's won 15 games of regulation out of 51. They're bad. They're bad. When we talked about why the Rangers were bad, I pointed the finger at Adam Fox. When do we point the finger at Morrissey? Connor Ingram. I have Connor Ingram and Hellebuck listed. I'm not sure who will be starting for the Oilers. Matt says take the Jets. I hope so, DeJuan. I did bet Towson, so I hope so, but tight game there. Edmonton has the #1 power play in the league. Look at these special teams from the Jets. When their 23rd penalty kill. I mean, the whole thing is just nuts. Oilers snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 6-2 win over Nashville on Thursday. So they head back to host the Kings on Saturday night. Kings Oilers going to be great. Jets coming off their 10th straight loss, 4-3 in overtime at home to Vegas on Tuesday night. Look, I bet the Oilers. The Oilers need to win. They don't have any pity for the Jets. And if I'd lost 10 straight and all of my mistakes were ending up in the back of my net, I certainly don't want to look up and see 97 flying down the ice.
Not to mention 2 of your last 3 losses, absolutely soul-sucking and devastating. The Toronto loss that they blew multiple leads, and then, of course, Vegas, where they're up 3-2 late in the third, and they lose 4-3 in overtime.
OG letting us know that Pickard was confirmed. Thank you, OG Swag. AM says he wanted the Jets but left it off the card. Look, I bet the Oilers. I'll deal with the goddamn consequences. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, I bet the Oilers too. I mean, this is a cheap price against a team that just finds ways to lose. Can't get out of their own way. There's nothing more to say than that. And you're right, Edmonton does need to win. They had lost 2 in a row before beating Nashville. They got to try to get a little momentum going here and build on it. Plus, they already went into Winnipeg and beat the Jets 3-1 just recently. Why can't they do it again? Yeah, Oilers for me, -110. Price looks cheap. I like this over, another over for me, over 6, -115. I also committed to betting overs with Edmonton most games until they get Jari back, because I don't trust Pickard. I don't trust Ingram. And I think Edmonton is heating up offensively. McDavid had the big game against Nashville, so I think this turns into a bit of a back and forth. And Hellebuck's been nothing special at all since he's been back from injury. Now, he hasn't had a bunch of help either, but the Jets have given up, 14 goals in their last 3 games combined. So Oilers and over.
Yeah, I want overs every time the Oilers play. I stayed off of it against Nashville. I was concerned, here when I was looking at the amount of goals the Oilers were actually scoring at home. And then here against Winnipeg, I was like, if you go toe-to-toe with the Oilers, you're going to lose. They know that. So I just think from X's nose that, but I immediately was drawn to the over. I stayed off of it here. I will cheer it on for you, Bobano. Over 6 minus 115 Oilers money line. Next up, Senators Avalanche. We got to be quick here. Is Hunter Shepard starting for the Senators?
Well, it's been an Avalanche. No pun intended. I didn't mean to come out that way. But no, it's going to be Mads Sogard. Hunter Shepard got sent down. He is no longer backing up Merrilainen. So it's going to be Mads Sogard, who has started a handful of games for Ottawa in years past.
Yep. And, giving these guys another opportunity is not, at times these guys step up. And the
problem is, just quickly on that, on Sogard, 6 games, 4.04 goals against 2 years ago for Ottawa. 2 games last year, 5.22 goals against for Ottawa. So, yeah, Sogard's got NHL experience, but it's not good experience.
Well, look what he's doing with Belleville. 887 save percentage, 3.49 goals against average. He's 2-8-3. 13 games he's started. He's won 2 in regulation. And no disrespect to a 25-year-old Dane. But when a 32-year-old North American goaltender who's been toiling in the minors his whole entire career comes up, everybody steps up for him. And I don't mean any disrespect to a 25-year-old Dane, but it's not the same feeling when he comes up here. Ottawa's on the second half of a back-to-back after losing 3-1 at Utah last night. They head home after this short 2-game trip to host Florida on Saturday night. Avs coming off their second straight loss 4-2 at Tampa on Tuesday. This is game 1 of a 7-game homestand. Look, I can't stop myself or help myself here. The Avs have lost 2 straight hockey games. I took them on the puck line in this one. They don't care. They have no pity for this goaltending fiasco. I took the Avalanche minus 1.5 plus 103. Bobano, take it away.
3 bets. Colorado, first period over 1.5 minus 135. Full game over 6.5. What's the best price out there? It's minus 118 with the full game over 6.5. And I'm going with Colorado alternative because I have 3.5 at a minus 140 price from early this morning. That's long gone. I'm going to go though with Colorado alternative team total over 4.5 plus 140. So over 4.5 plus 140. A great little tidbit was passed along to me about Colorado in these spots. Colorado facing teams on a back-to-back, with the line being between, minus 150 and minus 350. So it's a big parameter. 28-0 since 2021 against these teams on a back-to-back, like Ottawa is. And they've scored 5 goals or more in 9 straight games in this spot. So 5 goals or more in 9 straight games in this spot. So that's why I'm going to step this up to the alternative team total to get a better price, 4.5. This has the feel of 6-2 or 6-3 Colorado written all over it. Off 2 losses, too. So it's not only Ottawa back-to-back in altitude, Utah to Colorado. It's Colorado focused, dialed in, kind of pissed off after losing to Florida and Tampa Bay, back-to-back to end that road trip. So, yeah, I think this is they're going to end up being roadkill tonight, I think, Ottawa. So, yeah, all those bets.
Let's roll on to 10 p.m. Eastern. Blue Jackets, Golden Knights. Here is our next spot where T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Look, I love watching the Golden Knights lose. I'm so jealous of their fan base. I'm so jealous of what they've got to watch. I want them to lose in perpetuity. They've won 8 of 20 games in regulation at home. Their defense without Shea Theodore out there is a mess. It's an absolute mess. They look bad. Carter Hart does not look good, although he steps up on occasion. They have McNabb out as well. While Bill Carlson's been out for a while, maybe he is sort of a heart blood. We know that Pietrangelo, that was going to affect them from a leadership standpoint. And now they just look bad. Carter Hart, 873 save percentage. Jackets coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games, the 5-2 loss at the Sharks on Tuesday. Game 2 of 4-game trip. I still have a vividness like I have with the Jets, I have with the Golden Knights. I don't want to fade them, but I should. Now, did they get that win against Winnipeg? Is that going to wake them up? I don't have. Let's roll here. We have this total at 6.5. It's minus 110 to the under. And then from a money line standpoint here, we have a huge move towards Columbus, which I get. Plus 162 to plus 134. Is that goalie related, or take it away, my man?
Well, it's probably spot related too. They're coming off a 3-game road trip. It's not the greatest spot for the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm seeing Carter Hart and Jet Greaves projected, neither one confirmed. Now, it's not all great news for Columbus because Mason Marchment is now on injured reserve, and without him, they scored 2 goals against San Jose, which isn't a great sign. But like I said, so that's a concern. He had been playing so well. But it's, Vegas off a road trip, Carter Hart in net. Columbus beat them last year, by the way, in Vegas, 2-1. So Columbus has been able to beat them in this building. I'm with you. You know what? I will make it official here because I am going to bet Columbus here. I think it's going to be Greaves. Why wouldn't it be? They have totally lost faith in Merzlikins. Now I'm personally going to wait to place this bet until I know for sure that Jet Greaves is in net because I don't want Columbus with Merzlikins. Who would? With the way he's been playing, but I don't see any reason why Dean Evison would go away from Greaves here in this game tonight. So, and I just think it's a tough spot for Vegas. And look, even in the win against Winnipeg, they're about to lose 3-2 in Winnipeg against a Jets team that's been awful, that's free falling, and they were that close to losing that game, and then they tie it late and they win in overtime. Is that a true sign Vegas is back on the beam? I don't think so. And there's still a lot of injuries for them. There's no Theodore. Braden McNabb's one of their best shutdown defensemen, physical. He's out again for this Vegas Golden Knights team. So, yeah, I've talked myself into Columbus here. If I'm stuck with Merzlikins, so be it. I don't think it's going to be him in net, but I will go with Columbus here, plus 140.
I get it. I completely get it. Coming back from the trip,
hey, they won here last year at T-Mobile. There you go.
And they're smarting after that loss in San Jose, which was much closer than the score indicated. Remember, there's 2 empty netters there. I might be able to. I haven't seen a lot of additions come from the card. That might be one of them. Action Jackson moving on as well. Let's move on to our final spot on the board here. Redman, the Kings just beat the Wild back-to-back games. Kind of made a statement to everybody that they're a team that might be reckoned with. I've been higher on them than everybody else all year. Don't think you can compare the Kings to the Canucks. Canucks are garbage fire. Wild 25-11-8, 12-7-3 on the road. Kraken 20-14-7, 10-7-4 home. Look, I want to bet the Wild every single game for the rest of the season. And it hurt me back to back in LA. Maybe I should not be doing this. Look, the Bruins played horrific. The Kraken won 8 of 9 games in 4 straight, but this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. There was travel initially because it started in Calgary, then they hosted Boston. Wild had 2 days off. That was Monday that they played the Kings, and they lost 2 in a row. I don't know how you don't back them here. So I moved on the Wild on the -1 line. I got plus 105 on the -1 line. Last spot on the board here, Bobano. They're sitting at the same line. They opened up at -150. It got down to it got up to -157. Now it's down to -147. Take it away, my man. I think you're muted, my man.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, I don't normally like laying road chalk of this magnitude, but you know what? Let's see. I'm just trying to. First of all, I do like the over in this game. Over 5.5 -130. So I will lock that in. Over 5.5 -130. Minnesota, since Quinn Hughes was acquired. How about 9-3 to the over? How about 7-0 to the over in their 7 road games since Quinn Hughes has been acquired? And I don't think it's coincidence. He gives them more mobility, more of a, they move the puck better. They have a little bit more offensive abilities, especially as far as starting the rush is concerned. All that comes in with Quinn Hughes. And they've been playing with a little bit more of, again, an aggressive offensive mindset since he's come on board with the Minnesota Wild. So I'm going to and plus Seattle, don't look now, they're scoring goals now. Finally, the offense is heating up for the Kraken. And 3 straight games for them have gone over the total. So I think 5.5 is pretty cheap, all things considered. So over 5.5 -130. And I do like Minnesota. I did bet Minnesota. I'm going to keep that one off the official playlist. At minus 150 now, it's just too juicy for me, but I do like over 5.5.
What did you get it at?
Minus 130.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Points bet.
Wow. What time?
What time was it? A couple hours ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? There's also minus one. There's something close to that too at FanDuel. If you don't have points bet, FanDuel's got it at, I think, minus 134 right now. Let me just double check that. But I think FanDuel's got over 5.5, minus 134.
Oh, no, sorry. I meant on the Wild money line.
Oh, the Wild money line. No, that was the Wild. I'm thinking the total. The Wild money line. No, the Wild money line for me was minus 140. That's the price I got with that.
It's still a great price on that, though.
Yeah.
Bobano, thank you so much. I'm going to go over all your action. I know you got to go. And so I'll go over your action. And I know we have Ice Guys popping off in a huge week ahead for you, my friend. But we're closing our show today with the college football playoff semifinal. Did you move on the game?
I did. I just got to make sure I can see what the best the numbers are right now as far as what we can. Yeah, plus 3.5, minus 120 with Ole Miss, and I'm on the over here at 52, minus 115, 52, minus 115. Here's the way I see it: Miami's defensive front's a problem. It's great. It's elite, but they faced Marcel Reed, who's not a great passer, Julian Sayin, who is a pretty good passer, but he doesn't have mobility, the likes of what we're going to see tonight from Chambliss. What do we see from Chambliss against Georgia? When the pass rush got home, he had the escapability. He had the ability to throw on the run with deadly accuracy, great precision. And that's the formula to beat this Miami pass rush. Have a quarterback that can get outside the pocket and throw the ball deep with accuracy down the field. Trinidad Chambliss can do that. So I'm not sure Miami's defense is going to be that dominant unit we saw in the last two games. My concern with Ole Miss is they're still not a great defensive team, and you can run on them. And I was impressed with Miami's offensive line in both games, including the Ohio State win, where they controlled the flow in the line of scrimmage, and they pushed Ohio State around. Supposed to have a good defensive line. So I think Miami can run on Ole Miss's defense. Ole Miss has given up 4.5 yards per carry. Mark Fletcher should have some room to maneuver in the run game. So that's why I like the over. I think there's pathways to offense for both of these teams here. But at the end of the day, I'm going to grab 3 in the hook with Ole Miss. They're playing well. I am concerned about the coaching, instability, because I'm hearing that, they could have a skeleton coaching staff tonight. That's a concern a little bit. But I like the way they're playing. They feel like they're playing with this galvanized effort right now to say, F you, Lane Kiffin. We're going to go on and try to win this whole thing without you. And they're playing with that kind of moxie right now, Ole Miss. And I just think this defense of Miami, as great as it is, and maybe they play great and they win again here, I think Ole Miss with the mobile quarterback and his ability to throw accurately on the run is that one element that was missing from both of Miami's first two opponents in the playoff. And it's the difference here that can give Ole Miss a chance to win. I think they can win outright. I actually do think they will win outright, but the plus 3.5 is great in case they just fall short.
I love it. I love it, Bobano, star of the Ice Guys, the NBA OG show, and the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. Talk to us about the week ahead for you.
Yeah, the Ice Guys, 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, Sunday, noon Eastern. The NBA OG Crew Betting Show with Dutch Ski and Wham, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, Monday to Friday. And tomorrow, of course, we've got the Friday members only Hitting the Books show, C-Mac and I. For our members of the channel, we do those shows Wednesdays and Fridays. We do college basketball. Hitting the Book shows on Tuesdays. And, of course, check out the college football playoff semifinal previews that we did on Monday, if you haven't already, and get yourself ready for that C-Mac and I did for the 2 semifinals. Check those out. Jimmy, good luck. Everyone in the chat, good luck. And we'll see you next Thursday and possibly this weekend for playoff NFL Pub Hub.
I love it. There is our guy, Ian Cameron. Definitely need our leader in NFL Pop-Up. Currently ranked first out of 33 cappers. Definitely need him here. Let's quickly review all action here from the National Hockey League with Ian Cameron. He's on the over 6.5 at plus 100 in Calgary, Boston. All of these lines that we're giving out were available at the time that we talked about it, which is very difficult to do. Panthers, Habs, he stayed off. We both stayed off. I'm going to be on the Red Wings. I just wanted to see how far this line would go down. 40-cent move. These giant line moves have not paid off. You can fade them and then I see TJ fading them a lot. 50-cent line moves. I'm going to be on the Red Wings. I'm just waiting. We're both on the Sabres. Bobano got -118. I got -120. And the Buffalo Sabres is the spreadsheet play of the day from our guy, Ron Crawford. If you're listening with headphones at work right now, you might want to turn it down a little bit. Give you a couple seconds to turn it down. We are heads up, Bobano and I, in the total of the Leafs Flyers game. We'll see, how it bangs out. He's on the over 5.5 -135. I'm on the first period under 1.5 and +105, and the full game under 6 -110. I could get +100 right now with the Hildebeen news. We're both on the Devils. I'm on the Devils first period as well, going up against TJ in that one. He's on Pittsburgh. Nerve-wracking. Bobano on the over 6.5 in Ducks Hurricanes. I don't move on many puck lines. I'm on the Hurricanes -1.5 and the Avalanche -1.5. TJ, by the way, he's on the Sabres, Calgary, Boston under 6.5, Edmonton money line, and Pittsburgh money line. Bobano's on the over 5.5 and the draw on Islanders Nashville. I stayed away from that. Bobano and I are both on the Oilers, and so is TJ. Bobano also on the over 6 at -115. On Ottawa, Colorado, I'm on the Avalanche puck line. He's on the first period over 1.5, the full game over 6.5, and the Avs team total over 4.5. Bobano's on the Jackets. I'm not sure if I move on it, but I completely get it. The over 5.5 that he's on with the Wild does appeal to me, and I'm on the Wild on the -1 line. Philly Eagle Flyer play day is the Avalanche, who've lost 2 straight. Let's move into college basketball next. We have just the man for the job, 9-2 over his last 2 days in college basketball. I'm coming off a rough night in college basketball, so it's good. We got an expert coming in. We can heed his advice, go over his action. And then we're going to get into NBA in 48 minutes with Billy Brisbane. We'll be closing the show on the college football playoff semifinal. Without further ado, Northeast Ohio in the house. Star of walk-off wagers here on our channel. He's also one of the stars of the Sauce Network. Please welcome Morgan Spooner to the show. Spoon Dog, what's happening, man? How are you?
I'm doing really well, Jimmy. Coming off a couple nice days. Excited for another day of college basketball, college football right along the horizon. We got playoff NFL coming up. It's a great time of year.
Hofstra has opened up a 35-27 lead here. When we talk about live betting, I have a number that I stick to, and it was great last night. Going over the, there's so many spots, but my number is 8.5. 8.5. That's what I look for in NBA. And now, if the team is a dog already of 6 or 7, obviously, then I'd need more. But I'm talking about, either a favorite or a very, very slight dog. So I got a 5.5 live on Towson. Be curious to see what happens in these last couple of minutes. Maybe we make a move on the live move here. But Hofstra is up 8 right now on Towson. Let's get into college basketball here with our guy Morgan Spooner, who gave us Hofstra money line here. So he is in business. Let me switch a couple things over here to college basketball. While I'm switching things over, I do want to mention to please sign up for our confidence pool. We need signups. Only 48 hours left till the confidence pool. And speaking of that, please let us know, Swiggy, if anybody does sign up while the show's on. And Jerry Davis on the under 52 and Ole Miss plus 3.5 with confidence. Please let us know if anybody signs up so we can celebrate them. We need badly signups as we kind of got to the promo a little late. So please support our show. Our contest. Let's get to work. Morgan, my man, we start at 6 p.m. Eastern with the UMass Lowell Riverhawks, 6-10, 1-0 in conference play in the American East. At the Bryant Bulldogs, 5-10, also 1-0. We're at Chase Athletic Center in Smithfield, Rhode Island, not far away from our very own Nasty Nate. Let's talk about the situation here with these Riverhawks first, snapping their 2-game losing streak with a win over Albany at home. Albany does not look very good this year, but it was a nice win for the Riverhawks. 49% from the field. Took care of business, badly out-rebounded the Great Danes, and took care of business at home to start out their conference play. Bryant Bulldogs also coming off a win, but versus a very weak opponent. 56-51 over the Maine Black Bears, who are now 2-14 on the season. The opening half was 26-17. They held Maine to 17 points. Maine shot 2 of 18 from 3. Look, Bryant was not much better, 4 of 23 from 3. First spot on the board here, and shout out to the Goracle in the house. Let's get this here. We have Jose Perez. I will chase over and over and over again live and make money over and over and over again while doing it. So thank you for your concern, but I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for my live moves. I would have lost a lot of what I have a long time ago. But thank you for your concern. Goracle, thank you for your dono. Team total over 28.5 at plus 115. Added Miami first quarter minus 1.5 at plus 115. Oregon money line at plus 130. Oregon plus 3 at plus 100. Speaking of that game, Goracle, which will hit harder tomorrow, but my pops did send in action on Indiana, which I haven't sent in yet. He was in Vegas. He moved on him at the -4. When it moved to -3.5, he got angry and doubled down on it. But here, Morgan, we have the Riverhawks. Let's get into the line history for this spot. We have the Riverhawks +2 right now, -109. This line's moved a point towards them. This opened up at 3, went down to 2 initially after about 5 hours, back to 2.5, and now we're sitting at a 2. And from a total standpoint, we have this one sitting right now at a 143. So we had a big drop on the total. Opened up 147.5 down to 143. Spooner, take it away. My first game on the card, UMass Lowell, Bryant.
Yeah, this is one of those games I kind of circled last night and told myself I'd get the best number I could with the UMass Lowell today. It was a very quick line move off at 3. There was 1.5s, 2.5s when I was originally capping. By the time we did the midnight show, it was only 1.5s available. And I wasn't ready to move on that yet, but I knew that I wanted to get on UMass Lowell. Actually, I did get that 3.5 early. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong game here on the time that I bet it. But this is the better team in conference right now. American East is very down this year. There's Vermont's going to walk away with this conference pretty handily. I think the next best team in the conference is UMass Lowell. Bryant's still projected pretty well after their last season in the American East play, but that coach is gone. The entire roster's gone. It's a new team. They're very tall. They have that going for them. But outside of that, this offense looks really broken. And they played a very weak strength of schedule to this point in the season. I just really not impressed with anything that Bryant's done. I think UMass Lowell is the better team. They have the best player on the floor tonight in Austin Green. And in their last game, Sean Simmons started. He's a transfer over from St. Joseph's. Pretty big body. He's not the best scorer or anything, but offers a lot of athleticism that UMass Lowell really lacks and will really stand out here on American East play. I had the Albany game circled from a couple weeks before. I'd set an alarm on my phone because I knew Sean Simmons was going to be back for the game to make sure to bet it. And I've got all these UMass Lowell games circled until January 22nd versus Vermont to try to ride them because I think they are clearly the second best team in the conference right now, and projections don't have that like that right now. So I think we have a little bit of a buy low opportunity on this UMass Lowell team after just a really tough early strength of schedule. They had a really young team. Not a lot of returning minutes from last year or anything on this roster. This is the time of year where the teams played together, took the tough losses, and now we get to get the benefits of those early season mistakes. I think the money line's live, but 3.5 is in my pocket.
3.5, a nice score there for you, my friend. Plus 3.5 for our guy, Morgan Spooner. And we are getting to the end of the half here. Getting to the end of the half. A 7.5 is available. I wonder if they're going to the line here. Yeah, they are. Just left the 6.5. Fuck. Should have been just 1 second faster.
Did
All
you?
right, let's see.
Are you watching any live stream of the game?
No, I'm
I don't
just
have
watching it
my
on.
flow set up right here, so I can't watch it. I was curious what the gym looked like. Towson, generally a pretty good home environment, but the last few games I've seen students are out right now have not been good home environment. I saw they had $1 beers for a 12:30 tip-off. I was kind of interested to see what that would look like.
That's,
Nothing says we need a win like $1 beers at 12:30.
I like it. And Billy Friedrich saying Towson has no answer for Cruz Davis, which is something that you mentioned as well. Skip says, does Spoon still like it at 2.5? I mean, yeah, he does. I want to say he does because he just said money line is live. Do you still like it at 2.5?
Yeah, very much so. I think until money line, until you go past getting plus money with UMass Lowell, this is fine. The one advantage Bryant really has in this game is height, but I just don't think it's really going to come into play here. The best player on UMass Lowell is their center. He's a little bit undersized at 6'8", but he's very strong, 215. I think this is going to play right into UMass Lowell's hand. Their defense funnels you to take bad 3-point shots, and Bryant, their offense relies so heavily on 3-point shots. Top 10% in the country, 25th in points distribution in the country on 3-pointers. So they're going to want to take the bad threes that UMass Lowell is trying to make them take, and UMass Lowell just wants to go right to the basket. Bryant switches back and forth between man-to-man and zone, give up a lot of points in the paint. I think this is a really good matchup for UMass Lowell here. And just a huge coaching mismatch. Pat Duquette's been around for a very long time. You have a rookie head coach over in Bryant.
I love it. You are in business. Let's move on to your second game on the board. We head to Louisville, Kentucky, to Knights Hall, home of the Bellarmine Knights, hosting Central Arkansas Bears. Central Arkansas winners of 2 straight. You know, I was impressed with what SMU did, coming back to push against Clemson last night. Central Arkansas went to SMU, lost 99-82, followed that up by beating Florida Gulf Coast by 2, and then beat Stetson by 20. Bellarmine here it's a real interesting statistical profile. They're coming off 3 straight losses, but all have come on the road at Kentucky. I mean, we talk about, you know, Central Arkansas playing SMU tough. Bellarmine played Kentucky tough. 99-85 loss there. Their last 3 losses all came on the road. 4 of their last 5 losses all came on the road. The home loss was to Northern Kentucky, and there's no shame in losing to the Norse. Now, when they went to Notre Dame, they battled with Notre Dame. This is a Bellarmine team that's played a very tough level of competition and has, against Div 1 opponents, has only played 5 home games this year. So the statistical profile may not be quite legitimate. Let's get into the line history. Also, 0-2 in conference play against a team that's 2-0. We know how important it is to not start at 0-3 or 0-4 in conference play. We have a total of 155.5. It's slightly juiced to the under. Opened up at 157, now 155.5. And from a point spread standpoint here, we have Bellarmine at +3 right now. They opened up at a pick'em, went to +1.5, +1, and then back to a pick'em at 7:30 this morning. This 3-point move against them has happened in the last 5 hours. Take it away. And then I do have cash flow information on these smaller schools. I have cash flow information here. Now we got to go to action for that cash flow information. I don't know how much we do want to really trust it. By the way, for the UMass Bryant game, they have 71% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on Bryant, and Bryant on the money line 2 being backed, which makes UMass Lowell very attractive, as it not only correlates with the market, but correlates with Spooner's X's and O's. Here we have 44% of the tickets on Central Arkansas on the spread and 61% of cash. And on the money line, Central Arkansas being bet, 63% of tickets, 79% of cash. Take it away for us here, Spooner. Central Arkansas, Bellarmine.
Yeah, this is on paper a spot where I think Central Arkansas really sticks out as the better team. You just kind of look at some of their recent body of work. Central Arkansas is coming off a win versus Florida Gulf Coast, Stetson, back-to-back wins, but those wins were at home, along with their win at Little Rock and their wins versus Eastern Washington and Eastern Illinois. In fact, they don't have a win on the road this season. The Central Arkansas team has opened up 2-0 in conference play. I think they're really punching above their weight class with how they look on paper right now. They've gotten the benefit of having some games where they've shot really well. And one thing that I've noticed is it's in college basketball, it's always easier to shoot better in your home building. And they won't have that advantage today. Something about Bellarmine as well, they don't take a ton of threes, but they shoot a very high percentage from three. And the only place that Bellarmine really sticks out on paper as being better than Central Arkansas is just their offensive rating. CVB Analytics has them 30 percentile difference, which is rather large. Bellarmine is in the top half of the country in their offense. They have a really high true shooting percentage at almost 65%, which is over 10 points higher than what Central Arkansas has. So what this means is Bellarmine finds good shots on the floor. They take good shots and they make a lot of them. Central Arkansas does not find as good of shots, but they've managed to get some wins. I think we're getting a team that's overvalued versus a team that's undervalued. Bellarmine hasn't played a lot of home games this season. And when they've been at home, they played pretty well too. Their last win came versus Chattanooga at home. I think Chattanooga and Central Arkansas are similar type opponents, and they beat Chattanooga by 15 points. I think Bellarmine comes out here, looks really good. I was on them in a West Georgia game here on the first, and they lost that game. They went down 16 points to West Georgia in the first half, came all the way back, tied the game up with about a minute, and ended up losing that game. West Georgia hit a huge shot to end the game. Bellarmine looked so dead in the first 10 minutes of that game. They couldn't find anything like to go in the basket, but they were getting open shots, and it was very clear to me this was a team that I would want to back in the future. I couldn't believe they came back all the way and almost won that game. Showed a ton of toughness. Now that they're back at home, I think we get a couple spots here versus Central Arkansas, North Alabama, where we get to back Bellarmine at good prices. Bellarmine plus 3.5. That line moved this morning. Last night I was looking at this close to a pick'em, and I really expected Central Arkansas money to come in, and I kind of waited for this. This is what I was mentioning before. Where's my line? Bellarmine plus 3.5 minus 115. That's still available on a couple of books.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it. Backing Bellarmine is our guy Morgan Spooner. That takes us to West Long Branch, New Jersey, Ocean First Bank Center, home of the Monmouth Hawks for our next spot. Going up against William and Mary Tribe. The Tribe 11-4, 2-1 in conference play thus far. Coming off a loss at College of Charleston. Charleston is seems like a pretty strong squad here. I guess there's no shame. It was a tough first half. They did come back a little bit in the second half, but they shot 32% from the field and 25% from three. You get a sense of what William and Mary does well, even in the losses. They had 6 turnovers in that basketball game. So they shot terribly, but they forced 19 turnovers. They get out rebounded at times. They got out rebounded against Charleston, but they played clean, sound basketball. Monmouth coming off a win at Towson, 62-48. We're getting a good look at the issues that Towson has, but Monmouth really did shut them down in that one. And as we talked about, the lack of touch that Towson has, they shot the ball absolutely horrible. Pose right there. Sorry, I'm not sure exactly what you are talking about, Goracle. I'll take a second and take a closer look at that here. But you just go to Pub Sports Radio and just go down, and the tickets are there. Everything's there to sign up. We're going to have the games available to move on today at some point. But here with our spot, we have William and Mary opening up minus 2.5. They're now minus 3, a half-point move towards the Tribe. From a total standpoint here, we have the William and Mary Tribe. Sorry, where the hell is it? At 157. So we've climbed a point from 156 up to 158, and then back to 157. Still a 1-point move towards the over. And again, we have to use the Action Network, and I'm very hesitant to use it ever. But when we do, let's see what we're going to get for the cash flow. We have 78% of tickets and 80% of the cash on William & Mary on the spread, 86% of tickets, 58% of cash on them on the money line, 65-64 on the over. Take it away for us here, Spooner. Tribe, Hawks, and West Long Branch.
I think this is a good opportunity to sell Monmouth. This is a team I really like. I've watched them a lot this year. I've been on them a lot this year. They don't really have a true point guard on the roster. They have an off-ball shooting guard, 6'5", very athletic kid bringing the ball up. He's a senior, makes pretty good decisions, but it's very clear he's not a true point guard. And I think that's going to be an issue here today. Monmouth plays with one of the slower paces of play in college basketball, averaging 65 possessions a game. William & Mary is on the opposite end of that spectrum. They average 75 possessions a game. They're in the 98th percentile in college basketball. They force pace. And when you don't have a couple of true ball handlers on the floor to deal with that pace, you're going to make mistakes. And that's something that's already shown its head for Monmouth. Their turnover percentage is towards the bottom of college basketball over the last 5 games. Almost 16% of their possessions have ended in turnovers, and on the full season, it's at 15%. I think William & Mary's pace is going to make those turnovers add up. I don't think 20 turnovers is an unrealistic expectation. And one of my favorite stats in college basketball is Hakeem percentage. It's the addition of steal and block percentage. And both of these teams have really high Hakeem percentages. And I think it's a lot easier to do that when you play with a slow pace of play like Monmouth. I think all of their defensive numbers will look a little inflated right now versus William & Mary. I think Monmouth is going to fall out of this game early. I think not having a real point guard on the team is going to be a huge issue. He got hurt either first game of the season or right before the season started, and just kind of threw a huge wrench into this whole Monmouth team. I think here at the beginning of conference play, that's going to be when it really becomes an issue. They managed to do all right with their non-conference schedule, but William & Mary, Brian Earl, this is a really good school. I expect William & Mary to win this game by more than 5 points.
And you managed to get plus 2.5.
I have minus 2.5. Do I have plus 2.5 written down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have a minus 2.5.
Okay,
that's a error.
No worries.
I'll make a note on that on my card.
Minus 2.5 on William & Mary on the Tribe. Our guy Jerry Davis, big on William & Mary to bounce back here. Said they shot so bad last game and were still competitive. They play such clean basketball. William & Mary being backed by our Morgan Spooner, which takes us to our next spot on the board. And you are not alone in this look. Our guy Kripke is also on your side here. UT Martin Skyhawks 11-4, 3-1 in the OVC. At Morehead State Eagles 7-8, 3-1 in the OVC. We are at LST Johnson Arena in Morehead, Kentucky. Let's get this one set up here. We'll talk about the line history and the cash flow for this one. We have, make sure I've got it rolling. We have a total at 137.5. So we've seen no movement on this total. It's not moved a cent since it opened up at 2:56 p.m. yesterday. That is wild. Let's get into the point spread here for this one. Is the total is very sharp. Let's see what they think about the side here. This one popping off at 7:30. UT Martin opened up at -3. Within an hour and 3 minutes, they were down to a -2. Got up to 2.5, 2. Then they got back to a 3 this morning. The end, it started getting juiced. Looked like a 3.5 was coming very quickly around 9:30 this morning, but we're back at a 2.5. So that a half-point move towards Morehead State here. Cash flow for this one. We get over to the 7:30 starts. Here we go. We have no information on the spread. We have 75% of the tickets, 69% of cash on the money line on UT Martin, 63-63 on the under. Skyhawks come in off 3 straight wins, 1 on the road and 2 at home. Excuse me. They've proven they can travel. Morehead State has done a lot of traveling lately. They're coming off a 73-72 victory at SIU Edwardsville. It was an impressive victory. They shot 53% from the field and took care of business in a game that they were not expected to win. Here we go. Morgan Spooner, Morehead, Kentucky. Take it away.
Yeah, I want to fade Morehead right now. They are sitting 3-1 in conference. As you mentioned, that SIUE game, they had a chance to walk away with that game and almost gave it completely back. They got a 1-point win on the road. Very impressive for Maddox's team here. They played a very tough schedule, 142 in the country, but played some Power 5 schools, Wake Forest, Georgia, Clemson. Really just got blown out to start the season. I think that's good for some of these lower mid-major schools. And I was trying to find a way to back them, but UT Martin is the much better team here. They have two of the best players in the conference, so they'll have the two best players on the floor tonight. One thing about this UT Martin team is they have a coach that coached overseas FIBA type of basketball and has a ton of connections over there. This entire team is for national players. Some of these guys have played multiple years of professional basketball. They have two freshmen on their team right now that are in that category of professional players that are playing college ball. They're really tall. I think this team is just set up to do very well in the Ohio Valley Conference. I don't think Morehead's home court advantage that was there in Western Illinois, in the last few games for them, it's not going to be a huge advantage in my opinion. UT Martin's the better team, better players. I think this is a really short number. I paid 118 for the -1.5 last night just because I thought this number would move closer to 5. It's only moved to 2.5. So it's a little concerning because I also expected UT Martin to be public in this spot, but we'll see.
We have UT Martin here, -1.5, -115, as also being supported by our Matty Ice and our guy Crip Key. So we got 3 of our cappers moving on the same spot here. 40 Kids said Morehead State used to dominate their conference every year. Strange to see them as a dog here. Let's head west, my friend, to Corvallis, Oregon. Gill Coliseum, home of the Oregon State Beavers, 8-9, 1-3 in the WCC. Hosting the Seattle U Redhawks, 12-5 to start the year, but a poor performance in college play to start the year. Let's get the line history up here. We have, go to the late games, late action for us to attack. We have Seattle -4.5 right now. They opened up at -4, dropped to 3.5, and then got back to 4.5 with a half-point move towards these Redhawks. From a total standpoint, sorry, excuse this for taking a second. From a total standpoint, we have this sitting at 139.5, opened up at 139. It didn't move. It took 22 hours for it to move a half point to the over. Billy Friedrich talking about the sharp lines. I guess you can really see it when there's so little movement. Billy Friedrich said he'd take the Beavers and the points. 40 Kids says Seattle money line with a dance partner. Let's take a look at the cash flow and also what these teams have been up to recently. These Redhawks coming off, as I said, losses, but look who they played. They took Gonzaga to overtime, losing 80-72, and then they got beat up by St. Mary's in St. Mary's 93-76. There are 3 of their last 4 losses: St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and San Francisco. I mean, there's no shame in that. They faced the Cougars at home and beat them by 14. But here they're on the road again. They've also traveled to UTSA and beat them right before Christmas. Oregon State here has lost 2 in a row. They lost at Washington State last out. Both teams played on Sunday. So here we go. Next spot on the board here: Seattle U Redhawks, Oregon State Beavers. I'll be back in less than 30 seconds, Spooner, but take.
Yeah, so this Seattle team is one of my favorite programs over the past few seasons. Chris Victor is one of the most underrated coaches in college basketball and probably won't be for long. They've made the jump now to the WCC. They've spent the last few years in the WAC conference. Best team over there is Grand Canyon, and Seattle's given Grand Canyon a run for their money the last few seasons over there. Actually beat them a couple years ago when they had one of their best teams. So the Seattle team is no stranger to punching up. And that San Francisco game at home, they didn't play in their actual gym. They played in a bigger gym. So they kind of lose a little bit of their home court advantage when they do that. And San Francisco really needed a win in that spot. I don't make much of that loss. San Francisco is projected to finish third in this conference. Their other two losses came to Gonzaga and St. Mary's, the teams that are projected to finish 1 and 2 in this conference. They had Gonzaga down at halftime pretty commandingly. They should have won that game. Gonzaga got some calls at the end, the way it generally does when you play on the road. But they played great in that game. Then St. Mary's, it looks bad on paper, 93-76 finish. But again, Seattle was up at the half in St. Mary's. Those are two of the toughest road environments in all of college basketball. Oregon State, Corvallis is known as being a very tough place to play, but students still aren't back right now. I've watched a few of these Oregon State home games recently. It doesn't seem like they're getting up for this team this year. I don't think the home court atmosphere is going to be what it was in past seasons. And if it does, I think it's going to be when the students get back. So I think a little bit of that's taken out. I wanted to go Seattle full game here. The -4.5 was just a little bit too much for me. Looking at the way Seattle had just dominated the first halves of all these recent games, I wanted to see how Oregon State played. And they were down at the half in all of their recent home games to San Francisco, to Santa Clara, to Sam Houston. Montana State, a team they're much better than, was a 2-point game at half at home. So the last time they really dominated a team was Vermont when they came into Oregon State. And I thought that was an easy spot to fade Vermont. The only time I bet against them this year, had it circled. So I think this Oregon State team's a little overvalued at home. If we look at what Seattle's projected for, like if Seattle were to play Oregon State at home right now, it's a -10. So I think line's just off. I took Seattle -1.5, -114 in the first half.
-1.5, -114 here for Morgan Spooner. We got Dutch Boy fresh in the house. Going to be getting into NBA here shortly. It's a 44-35 game in Hofstra. I did have a chance, for whatever reason I wasn't logged in, at the 8.5. It's close to an 8.5 here. I might wait for a second longer. I will not wait if we get to 15 minutes left in the half, I will not wait anymore. The Goracle in the house says UT Martin is a pro team in college. They certainly they should have an advantage in the OVC. We'll see if it bangs out. Let's move on to the final spot on the board here for Morgan Spooner. And it's an exciting one. San Francisco Dons here at Loyola Marymount Lions. The Dons 11-6, 3-1 in conference play. We're at Gersten Pavilion, Los Angeles, California. Loyola Marymount 10-7, 1-3 in conference play here. And we got that figured out here for those of you trying to sign up for the confidence pool. Thank you for fixing that, Swiggy, and thank you for letting us know, Gorky. And please, we need sign-ups, so sign up if you can. And Swiggy, let me know if anybody does. San Francisco coming off back-to-back home victories here. Okay home victories. The San Diego victory was okay. They were expected to be in control, and they were in control. 74-64. They shot very poorly in the first half and turned it on in the second half. The Dons then took out the Pilots, took out Portland. Portland, pretty weak opponent as well. And Portland got the jump on them. It seems like the Dons start slow at home. Will they do that here? Jerry Davis sees a battle arising here in this game as he is on the Loyola Marymount Lions. They're coming off getting absolutely annihilated by the Zags, 82-47, which one would think would be a nice bounce back spot for them. Let's take a look at this line history for our last game on the board. Okay, I've got an 8.5. Got an 8.5. I am going to see if they make it 46. I have it lined up here. And sorry about this, but money talks. So we have, okay, they did. It didn't change the line. Okay, I'm moving here on the, oh no, shoot. Fuck, I pressed the wrong button. That's what happened. I'm on Hofstra at -8.5. Shit, I'm gonna need to buy out of this. Okay, I'm gonna stay focused here and not let this. Oh my god, what am I doing here? This half. Let's talk about the line history here. We have the 138.5 moving to a 140.5. Oh god, and they just scored. What the hell am I doing this live for? What an ass clown I am, man. It's got the sickness getting in my fucking head. We have from a spread perspective, what an ass clown I am. From a spread perspective, we have a Loyola sitting here -1, flat one, which is where it opened. And cash flow wise here, let's move down to the bottom. Cash flow wise for our final spots on the board. Late night action, which is what we want. Oh my God, I've got to buy out of this right now. God, so stupid. From our cash flow, we have no information on the side of spread wise, but we have 47% of tickets, 82% of the cash on San Francisco, 73% tickets, 74% cash on the over. Take it away for us here. No, I bought out of it. Take it away for us here, Spooner. Don's Marymount Lions.
Yeah, this is a pretty fun West Coast Conference matchup. Loyola Marymount kind of in a buy low opportunity after the 3 losses in conference play to St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and Washington State. Two of the best teams in the conference, as we just mentioned. Washington State picked to finish around 500 in conference, if not a game above, I believe. So it's not a terrible loss either, but watched quite a bit of Loyola Marymount basketball this year. They started out 6-0, 7-1, but very just low competition wise. Overall, 215 schedule. And a lot of that's affected by St. Mary's and Gonzaga, who they just played. If we take those games out of it, their non-conference was 310. And if we look at what San Francisco did in their non-conference, it listed as 130 right now. They scheduled some really good teams. Minnesota, a Power 4 school. They got Colorado, Nevada. So Minnesota, they played on the road. They also played another true road game versus Mississippi State. Went on the road to play St. Louis. Like, they played some of the best mid-majors in the country, played Bradley. So they went out of their way to test themselves. Came into it. They're sitting right now with an 11-6 record with back-to-back wins versus San Diego and Portland. I don't think that really increases their market value at all. I think San Francisco should be the favorite in this game. I think Loyola Marymount's a little bit overvalued by their weak schedule. I think we look at that Gonzaga spot and just circle this as a buy low. But if we look at last year, what happened when San Francisco got blown up by Gonzaga and then immediately when Loyola Marymount got blown up by Gonzaga and immediately had to play San Francisco, they went in and lost handily to San Francisco. And San Fran had a great team last year. I think they do again this year. They're missing some of the marquee names that they had last season, but Gerlefson's a really good coach. To schedule that kind of out of conference schedule means you have a lot of confidence in it. I think he's going to look to get another win here versus Loyola Marymount. I think this team's just a little bit overvalued in the market, and we'll get a few more opportunities to fade them here in conference play at a good price. San Francisco plus money line. I got 105.
San Francisco money line for Morgan Spooner. Seattle first half -1.5 at -114. UT Martin -1.5 at -115. William and Mary -2.5 at -110. Bellarmine +3.5 -115. UMass Lowell Riverhawks +3.5 at -118. And we talked about his spot off the top. Hofstra money line at +118 in play right now, comfortably up 11 points. If I had waited just a second longer, I could have.
I was just trying to bite my tongue on that because it's your decision to make. But when you said you accidentally got the 8.5, I was like, I think you made the right bet.
No, I don't know.
So Towson just such a slow pace. They jack threes. If the threes aren't going in, it's not a good recipe to come back late. It's a good recipe to dig yourself a bigger hole. But I mean, it is what it is. I think it's going to be a decent day. I always hate coming off a couple hot days, to be honest, because I just know regression comes for everybody, and regression always comes after kind of the extremes. It's not after a 4 and 3 day where you get a half unit back from them, but it's after the hot days. So generally I get hit in the face in these days. I capped the card really early as the games were still going on, so I didn't know that I was going to have a good day. So hopefully that helps. But it's a wild thing that we do every day.
Oh my goodness. Is it ever? a battle that we face each and every day. Thank you so much for rocking with us, my man. Will you be on the Sauce Network this evening?
I think so. It's been a pretty late night for me the last few nights. There's a chance I might just crash out early tonight and call it, get some extra sleep. But I should be on tonight. It depends how the night goes, probably.
I tried to sleep last night, but you talk about this battle that we're facing. I can't shut down, man, for the life of me. Like I just can't like be calm and relaxed. I can't pretend that I don't have all this money on the line right now.
Yeah, I was looking at shot charts from Bellarmine from a month ago at 3:00 this morning. I was like, I really need to go to sleep.
I hear that. Well, we've been seeing the success that's come. Keep up the great work, Spooner, my man. You can catch Spooner rocking with me here on Thursdays. I'm going to pop his X here in the chat. If you don't follow our guy Spoon's Bets, please do right now. Follow our guy Morgan Spooner. Thank you for all that you do for us, Spooner, my man. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
No. Thank you guys for rocking with me all season over there on Pub Hub with you, Jimmy. I was really excited with how NFL finished up for me this year. Just glad to finish in the money for the contest. I've never made it through the contest and not given up after the first probably 8 weeks of the season, to be honest. So it was fun to get all the way through and actually get a little money back from it. Look forward to next year and these playoffs. I'm not in the confidence pool yet. I'll be getting in that. Still not very locked in on NFL, but want to keep it fun. Get in that confidence pool, see if you can beat me at it. Let's have some fun, guys. Enjoy it. Let's get some cash.
There he is, our guy, Morgan Spooner in the house. What I think we should do here is instead of, because we're 8 minutes before Brizzy is going to join us. And look, I want to destroy NBA. This is it's a pretty high watermark that I'm at right now in NBA, which I'm pretty thankful for, especially after the debacle in college basketball last night. But 58.8%. Now, again, the sample size is a little short, but 58.8% plus 15.75 units, and ROI plus 12.02%. But I think we head into college football here. Let's talk college football. Loose lips, no, there will be no live stream tonight. There will be no live stream tonight for college football. We got Sunday night and Monday night that I'll be hosting, but not for college football. I don't know if Dabby Cab wants to host one, but I'm like fucking ill. I'm sick, and I want to get better. And I'm also now, thanks to a losing horrible day in college basketball, haven't slept. So I'm a fucking mess, loose lips. But not enough that I'm going to miss capping a card with you guys. Let's talk college football here. We got a banger on our hands. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The college football playoff semifinal Fiesta Bowl, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Hurricanes 12-2, Ole Miss 13-1. We've already heard from Bobano moving on Ole Miss plus 3.5 and the over 52. Thomas Rooney here moving on Ole Miss. Deacon, I'm sick, man. You don't want hugs. You don't want hugs, man. Don't want them. Jerry's got Pacers money line. We're going to talk about him soon, but you're a good man, Deacon Mike, my friend. Let's roll. Now, I have a breakdown here. We also have Kong's clips full breakdown, of which I've copied and pasted. We have Dougie Wise moving on the Hurricanes minus 2.5 at minus 126. We have the Goracle in the house as well. The Goracle is on the Hurricanes. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play of the day number 1 is your Miami Hurricanes. Team total over 27.5. Stacks play of the day number 1 is the Hurricanes over 27.5.
Stacks.
And 40 Kids says, I think they win in spite of Lane Energy ends tonight. Miami by 10 plus, says 40 kid. Let's talk about this spot here, and let's talk about what our friend Kong's Clips thinks of it. Then we'll go through the market, and then we will touch on some more X's and O's. Shout out to our guy Kong's Clips. Kong is going to drop some stuff in the chat for my football looks in college basketball. Since I don't have time to come on the screen, he's on Ole Miss plus 3.5. Says, I believe the key in this game is Trinidad Chambliss is a mobile quarterback who has a dynamic ability to throw on the run with precision, which should negate the pass rush. Says, Ole Miss has shown that they can score with the best of them. I think his ability to move the pocket will shut down Miami's best unit, their defense. He's on Ole Miss plus 3.5. Now we have his breakdown for tomorrow, which we'll talk about. But shout out to our guy Kong's Clip. Let's roll now and touch on the market, the cash flow, and some more X's and O's. And we want to hear from you guys in the chat. Goracle says this is not the same Miami team that lost to SMU. Kong is also on Chambliss 2+ touchdowns as well. Miami Hurricanes opened up at -3 at -106. This is 6 days ago. Moved to 3.5 in about 6 hours. The 3.5 got up to a -115. Again, we're back on the 3rd of January. Then we dropped down to a 3. We dropped down to a 3 on Monday, and it got back to a 3.5. This was a 3.5 up until this morning. This morning, it moves back to a 3. So overall, we've had 11 cents of movement towards the Hurricanes of Miami. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 52. Excuse me. It's now at 52.5. Opened up at 52, got up to 52.5, and basically sat there, which is where it is right now. So we've had a 0.5 point move to the over and 3 cents of movement here. Let's get into the cash flow for this monstrous football game. We have 53% of the tickets and 58% of the cash on the Hurricanes. We have 62% of tickets on the under and 63% of cash on the over. Circa here opened this -3 at -110. They got up to a -4, and that was when I was telling you it looked like it was going to go to the 4 in the offshores. So that was back on Sunday, Monday. Now we are back to a flat 3. So overall, they've moved 6 cents. 54% of the tickets, 57% of cash on the Miami Hurricanes. So let's talk about the situation. You got this Miami team took out Texas A&M 10-3 and Ohio State 24-14. BJ here on Miami money line. We have Wine Time's action here from Deacon Mike. Wine Time. We are all waited on bated breath for an announcement from Wine Time, and letting them do his thing, man. Letting him do his thing. We have Wine Time on Miami -3, Miami -160, Miami team total over 27.5, and Ole Miss team total under 24.5. So thank you for sharing that with us, Deacon. We know what we have from Miami and Mario Cristobal's team. It's defense. Now Carson Beck has also played 2 important football games and not turned the ball over. That's also crucial. Mark Fletcher doing his thing. Carson Beck is not doing much. He's just not making mistakes. He's throwing for less than 200 yards in both of those performances against A&M and against Ohio State. We know that Miami's offensive line is very good, and Ole Miss has struggled against the run, which should give Fletcher opportunities. Top set here on Ole Miss +3.5. Dabby Cab is on Ole Miss here, +3.5. Tommy Guns moving on Miami. Kripke on the other side with Ole Miss, and Thomas Rooney on Ole Miss. Let's talk about this Ole Miss football team. So there was a lot of question marks as what Lane Kiffin's departure was going to do to the club. And what it did was it galvanized the troops. Peter Golding has been incredible. And now Joe Cox and George McDonald, two assistants will not be there, but Charlie Weiss Jr. will be there. He will be calling the plays. So Charlie Weiss Jr. calling the plays. Pete Golding will be there. Thomas Rooney says Chambliss going to take it all. So the question is, do you believe that Chambliss and this Ole Miss team that's averaging 37.6 points per game this year can wreak havoc against the Hurricanes? Chambliss will have to leave the pocket to try to negate this very dangerous Hurricane pass rush. The Ole Miss offensive line, if Chambliss isn't leaving the pocket, isn't running, is in big trouble. Kong says, I watched some of the interviews. These kids are playing with a chip on their shoulder, and all of them said, fuck Lane Kiffin. That is from our guy Kong's Clips. I respect this action on Ole Miss. I do. I respect it. I would like to bet the under. I think that if you're on Ole Miss, I think it correlates with the over. If you're on the Hurricanes, it correlates to the under. Now, Billy Friedrich says Lane Kiffin didn't go to Miami, so it's a non-factor. I mean, I don't think you could say non-factor. I think it's still a very big factor in this game because it has galvanized the troops. It is a point of reference, I think. Dabby Cab says Miami's defense front is the story for Miami. I've seen Ole Miss stretch the field against Oklahoma and Georgia twice. He won't sit in the pocket. That's not how their offense functions. And Thomas Rooney says after watching the refs and Georgia try to beat Ole Miss and they couldn't succeed, Ole Miss kicker is going to drill field goals from 55 plus. So I am obviously enamored with Miami shutting down the Buckeyes. But I understand that that's the case. And that's what kind of kept me off of moving on a side here. Also, there are so many sharps on Ole Miss, which again has kept me from moving on the Hurricanes. Now we're seeing a lot of great cappers here on Miami as well. I want the under in this football game. I do. But the Hurricanes are need to get stops early. Justin McKelvey says this game stays under because Ole Miss won't score too much. Let's take another look at what's gone on with the over. It's now at 53 at Circa. Circa is the only book that's moved it to 53. That tells me that Ole Miss is where the sharps are, and the fact that Circa's moved it to a 53 makes me very hesitant to move on anything else. Makes me very hesitant to move on the under. In fact, I don't want to do it. So Dutch Boy Fresh is on Miami Hurricanes. Look, it seems to me that after watching these two football teams in the college football playoffs that you immediately gravitate personally towards the Hurricanes. The fact that this line isn't moving towards the Hurricanes with all of the up and down that's going on with the Ole Miss coaching staff makes me respect this Ole Miss action. Do I respect it enough to bet it? AOD says Beck 2 interceptions, book it. And yeah, no doubt about it, Nuke. And I said that. I said that not all the sharps are where we have a lot of great cappers in our chat that are on the other side. Nuke Worker being one of them on Miami. Dabby Cap says Georgia A&M Miami have also shown they love to be dragged in these low-scoring, beat-it-up type games. Everyone's just assuming Ole Miss will get dragged into that game that Miami's going to want. Tommy Guns is on the under 53 here. Oh, sorry, Dutch. Did I read that wrong? Oh, sorry. Says defense is elite, but will still tire out 4 quarters with the Rebels put together long drives. Keep that defense on the field. Ole Miss plus 3.5 is good money, says Dutch Boy Fresh. My bad. Thank you for that. All right. And Kong says, Jimmy, you say it all the time. There are no fairy tales in Shawshank. Do we believe that Miami's going to get to play the national championship game at home? Well, we saw what the pressure of San Francisco getting the opportunity to roll all the way through in Santa Clara did to them. It's a lot of pressure. Chris Warren giving his final score of 27-20 Ole Miss. Yes, Jerry Davis, this line is moving to Ole Miss right now. Mark Stasowski is on the over 52. Billy Friedrich says Ole Miss is a fairy tale team, not Miami. That's true. There's some truth to that. So we have cappers on either side of the equation, whether it be the total or the side. I think tomorrow's game may be a little clearer Coracle says Miami wins at Hard Rock. Good luck to all of you guys here hammering the college football playoff semifinal. I tell you, we will be live for the college football final. That will be a live stream here on the channel. Thomas Rooney said, I believe the Chambliss and Lacey run game combo is going to tire out that Miami defense. Let's move on to the NBA coming off a 7-2 day, obviously helped by a couple daggers. Very helped by a couple daggers. The Banchero dagger was ridiculous. I mean, but the Quickly dagger, get used to it, man. That's guy's got some ice in his veins. He's a beast. That was such a fun last couple minutes of that Charlotte-Toronto game. Let's bring in our next guest to talk NBA, and let's see if we can stay hot in NBA. Please welcome one of the stars of the Locker Room Talk podcast, also the star of NBA here on Thursdays on Betting with the Bag, coming to us from South Jersey. Please welcome Mr. Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Trying to string together a couple of good days to make it a good week here. Nice little NBA slate here, small card, but a couple of good opportunities. And then got some college football tonight, and then we got some tennis to figure it out overnight. So should be a good Thursday afternoon here.
Well, let's get after it, my friend. Let me just move this line history over to NBA here, and then let's attack. I'll move this over as well. God, NBA saved me, man. I'm enjoying capping NBA so much, but in saying that, I'm focusing on when I'm capping with you guys. Kong saying Quickly one of his favorite players. I love it. Jerry Davis said Quickly and Banchero got him paid. You know what got me paid was the New York Knicks, man. I loved us breaking down that basketball game. It was extremely enjoyable, and it got us right. And I felt comfortable the entire game there on the Knicks at 4.5. I know you're trying to catch a falling knife at some of these times when you're taking these teams that are losing, but come on. The Clippers flying across the country yesterday or on Wednesday, and they have to play Thursday at MSG. Let's roll, my friend. We start 7 p.m. Eastern. The Indiana Pacers 6-31, 1-16 on the road. God, Tyrese got to be feeling like the most valuable player with his foot up in the air. At the Charlotte Hornets, 13-24, 7-11 at home in Spectrum Center, Charlotte, North Carolina. Pacers are playing fast and playing bad. 0-10 over their last 10 games. 103.40 possessions a game. That's third fastest in the NBA. They're shooting the ball fine, 46.8 from the field and 36.4 from three. Charlotte shooting the ball beautiful from three over the last 10 games. 4-6 over that stanza. 41.5% from three, 45.1% from the field. So they're barely shooting better from the field than they are from three. And it's the 25th fastest pace here in the NBA, just over 97 possessions a game. Let's bring up the shoot around injury information here as well. Let's get this up and get this up. Here we go. So let's see who is expected to be in the lineup here for the Pacers. It's pretty clear. Toppin, Matt Thurin, and Jackson out. It's Nembhard who is questionable and clearly important to this basketball team. A late addition to the injury report. We know how that's been going of late. Late additions to the injury report are a problem. So I guess you would be leaning slightly towards doubtful, even though I probably shouldn't be saying that. For the Hornets, they've been playing without Grant Williams, Mason Plumlee, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. So they've been playing without bigs. Now Diabate has become extremely important to them. Salwan, Miller, and LaMelo are all probable. So they're all going to be in the lineup for this one. We have this line now at 4.5 for the Charlotte Hornets, despite being on the second half of a back-to-back. Opened up at 3.5, now at 4.5. It's been one-way traffic towards Charlotte. When we get to the total here for this one, taking a second to load. While that is loading, let's take a look at the cash flow. Looks like everything is has stopped for me here on my computer. Let me let me give this a second. Why don't we hear from you, my friend? While this is all loading back up, take it away for us. Oh, here we go. We have 66% of tickets and 82% of cash on Charlotte. The line has moved a point in Charlotte's direction. From a total standpoint, 95% of tickets and 88% of cash on the under. 95 and 88. We've gone from 234.5 to 232. So a 2.5 point move towards the under. Brizzy, my friend, take it away. We have these Pacers. And look at Kyle Kerms in the house. Great to see you, Kyle. Kyle Kerms says Pacers ending the losing streak tonight. Pacers money line. Brizzy, take it away. Your plan of attack.
Yeah, this kind of gives me deja vu from their last matchup. If you remember, we bet the Pacers plus money at home against Charlotte and missed their losing streak. I mean, Pacers on a 13-game losing streak. Carlisle sits at win 999 for it feels like weeks now. He's been looking for that extra win. Charlotte lost at the buzzer last night, second night of a back-to-back. The thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was digging deeper into this game. Charlotte's the best team in the NBA in the second night of back-to-backs. They're 7-0 ATS second night of back-to-backs. They've gone 8-2 ATS last 10. I mean, their talent is pretty good. Brandon Miller plays tonight as well. He didn't play last night. Brandon Miller's been pretty huge. I don't want to lay the points with Charlotte, but it's kind of Charlotte or pass for me. I lean towards the under 231.5, but I don't feel convicted about this game because I don't think I want to be laying points with Charlotte.
No, I don't want to back Charlotte here either on the second half of back-to-back. I mean, God, with Mathurin out, Nembhard is a very important piece to this Pacers. I mean, I guess you could have McConnell running shop, but it's so much better to have him coming in off the bench here. I can understand the hesitancy. We have Kyle and we have Justin McKelvey both on the Pacers money line. AOD says Hornets or nothing. I'm very hesitant to want to get involved in this one at this point. Pacers, Hornets. But I can understand here why the Cappers believe in the Pacers. Hesitant. Let's revisit it. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Brizzy, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Miami Heat, 20-17, 7-11 on the road at the Chicago Bulls, 17-20, 10-9 at home at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Both teams 5-5 over their past 10 games. Miami, as they have all year, playing at a very fast pace. 104.7 possessions a game over their last 10 games. Shooting the ball poorly from the field, but very nice from three, 38.3%. Just 45.2 from the field. Chicago, 5-5, second half of a back-to-back. They burnt me yesterday, and I had meant to double down on the first half. It's just a little overwhelmed getting action in and balance. It's the 6-7 o'clock, the witching hour is very difficult for me to add action. Just being a dad and all, having to play that role after about 5.
Cooking dinner.
Yeah. It's
getting
tough.
dinner together and stuff and all that. And for the East Coasters, I feel like the West Coasters don't know about that grind, man. And you get those extra couple hours, I feel like, on the West Coast.
It's tough, man. It's tough. So the late additions that I write in my notes, I would like to see this, that, and this. It's 7 p.m. The games pop up. I'm like, the Bulls' first half was one of them. But the Bulls fell completely apart last night. In a game they seemingly, they were ahead late in the second quarter. The Heat are coming off a disaster on Tuesday, 122-94 loss at Minnesota. This has to be a bounce back spot for them. They shot 36% from the field, 32% from three. They turned the ball over 18 times. They lost the rebound battle. They did nothing right. Nothing right. So let's take a look and see who we expect in the lineup, as that is always the trickiest spot. Pretty clear here. Everybody in for the Heat. Jacques is probable. Everybody in. For the Bulls, Giddey out, Collins out, and Herter is questionable. I mean, how is this not a spot to trust and back the Miami Heat? Let's take a look at the line history. After just getting demolished, the reason why I felt forced to back the Knicks, I felt forced was the fact that they had lost by 30 plus the game before. And my ROI is so high backing any team that loses by 30 plus. And it's almost never a favorite the next night. It's always usually a trash basketball team. The Heat and the Bulls have had that wild 143-107 game back in November, but nobody cares or remembers that one. Line history wise, we have this total at 237.5. This has dropped 5 points from 242.5. So a major move towards the under. 242.5. This was a 241 at 3 this morning, a 240 at 7 this morning. Now we're at the low water mark at 237.5. And then on the spread here, we have Miami -7. That's a lot to ask. Opened up at 5.5, became a 7 in 21 minutes. Got up to 7.5 a few different times. 7 is a lot to ask. I mean, I guess you could say it's expensive for a reason. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. 53% of the tickets, 59% of the cash on Miami. It just moved. 79% of the tickets, 65% cash on the under. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Kyle saying he doesn't understand why this total came down. Brizzy, how are you attacking this one?
Yeah, at first glance, I had the same thoughts as you, that the line was a little bit too wide, but Miami's second game of a 4-game road trip to play Indiana and OKC. Chicago without Giddey, though, they just look really off without Giddey on the court. I feel like the sports books are telling you a story here. Miami being a 7.5-point favorite. This is they've only been favored twice so far on the road this year. They've gone 1-1. So not only are they favored, they're this big of favorites. Tells me a lot. Chicago 2-4 ATS second night of a back-to-back. I feel like you can make an argument that this line could be higher. I kind of like the scenario they were talking about, them coming off that big of a loss, because Miami's one of the best first half ATS teams in the NBA, 23-13 first half ATS. Miami 3.5 is -114. Those are the three things I have written down for this game. It's Miami first half, ATS, Miami double result, and Miami money line. I think Miami wins this game and covers, but I think I kind of want to jump on them early here. Player prop wise, you can look at Norman Powell in this game. Norman Powell's point prop is 22.5. The sports books are kind of indicating he's going to have a really good game. Over 2.5 3-pointers is -158 for anybody that wants a little parlay piece.
Yeah, I can understand the double result, just wanting to have more action down, but don't we need to take advantage of the Bulls on a back-to-back with travel? We watched the Bulls menace for a half last night. So I think the only way to look at this is a full game. You want a tired group at the end of the game. But you do have an angry Heat squad after getting embarrassed in Minnesota. So, I mean, I can understand both sides. Also, this is not a 30-point loss. Remember, that got me off the Thunder. I was like, they did not lose by 30. I don't need to back them here. And I know a lot of you guys were talking about just backing them early, but
that was a hell of a game.
The Thunder cost a lot of people money last night. Kyle saying the Heat might score 140 points in this game. I think that the Heat should be bet here. The Heat should be bet. Obviously, it was a debacle. It was their third game in 4 nights at Minnesota. I think you have every reason to explain. I think they're really angry about it too, because they just lost to Minnesota at the house 125-115 on Sunday. So to lose again like that was embarrassing. I think they must be backed here, is the way I see it. Kyle saying Miami or the over. I think Miami has to be bet here. And I think 7 is a fine number. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board, Brizzy. We are in Minnesota. We just talked about what they did to the Heat. We're at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Cavaliers 21-17, 8-8 on the road. Timberwolves 24-13, 13-6 at home. We have for Minnesota Ant questionable. Garland and Nance questionable on the other side, but Ant is the important one. Let's get this
downgraded to questionable, and the injury tag was injury maintenance, which tells me I don't think he's playing.
He's not playing. These late additions. I hate making it that clear, but these late additions, time and time again, we see them here. Just not battling through whatever the hell's going on. Speaking of a late addition to the injury report, so is Darius Garland. These are the games in NBA that make you want to stop capping NBA. Let's talk about.
I actually like this game.
Yeah, but I mean, just with the late additions to the injury report is more what I'm referring to.
As long as Donovan Mitchell's in the game, that's all I care about.
Yeah, no, Spider's a beast. 6-4, the Cavs over the last 10, playing at sixth fastest pace, 102.95 possessions a game, barely faster than Minnesota. Minnesota has not played this fast this year. They're playing 102.58 possessions a game. Minnesota shooting very poorly from three over the last 10 games, just 33.3%. Cleveland shooting wonderfully, 49.3 from the field, 39.1 from three. They're a very tricky team to cap. For me, and I've been saying this all year long, give me Mobley and give me Jared Allen. That's who I need on the floor, and especially going up against the Wolves bigs, it is probably exactly who we want out there. This is probably the perfect team to face these guys. Let's take a look at the line history. Excuse me. We have Cleveland opening up at +4. They're now +2.5. This got down to a 1.5 at 12:30. Clearly, it's Ant being the late addition, to the injury report. From a total side of things here, we have the 237. This opened up at 238, got up to 241.5, and then, of course, the late addition. That was late last night. We're down to a 237. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 58% of tickets, 65% of cash on the Cavs, 92% of tickets, 90% cash on the under. Billy Brisbane, take it away, Cavs, Wolves.
This is the beginning of a home and home for Minnesota. They play at Cleveland on Saturday. I just think this line's oddly off. I mean, you're talking about 3 straight double-digit wins. Some of Cleveland's ATS numbers, I think, are misleading. They're the worst ATS covering team in the league. But I think with Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, and Sam Merrill on the court, they're not as bad as the worst ATS record in the league. They've been feisty, if anything. I think this line's really off, considering the form that Minnesota's been in. Cleveland in this underdog role is kind of like where I like to back them here. Among Cleveland Cavaliers money line here. I think they win this game outright.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. The Cavs did not look good at the Pacers. I backed them heavy against the Suns on New Year's Eve with you guys. Here, I can completely get it. Neither team's on the first half of back-to-back. None of the teams are that we're talking about today. Yeah, I think the Cavs need to be bet. I think they need to be bet. All right, let's roll on. I'm with you, Brizzy. What did you get the Cavs money line? I'm going to probably take the points because I don't have the balls. But what do you have for the money line, Brizzy?
+112. My ticket, though, is +108. I took it after that shoot-around news happened because I was fucking with Cleveland. Excuse my language. I was liking Cleveland prior to the Anthony Edwards injury downgrade. So it was kind of like, all right, if I don't bet it now, they could fuck around and be favorites by 7 o'clock. But I think Garland isn't going to play in this game. But to be honest with you, I don't care if Garland plays in the game or not. As long as Donovan Mitchell's there, Evan Mobley isn't on a minutes restriction, I think it's a full go for Cleveland. I don't think that this is the worst ATS record team in the NBA. And it's shocking to see them at the top of the list for like worst ATS records in the NBA. Ever since I found that out since Christmas, I've been kind of like low-key back in Cleveland.
Yeah. As soon as Mobley and Allen were healthy, I felt like that was the move to make here. Do you think that I guess we don't want to wait for Garland because even if Ant is questionable at this point, when he's announced out, this line's going to move. So I'd probably just bet it now. I think that does make sense, even though it's likely baked into the line. I like it. We have Brizzy on the Cavaliers here at +112. Let's roll into 9 p.m. Eastern. The Dallas Mavericks 14-23, 4-12 on the road at the Utah Jazz, 12-24, 8-11 at home. We're at Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dallas 4-6 over their past 10, seventh fastest pace. Both Dallas, Utah playing at the fast pace. Now Utah, of course, on the second half of a back-to-back and with travel after taking the Thunder to overtime. We have Dallas 49% from the field, just 31.1% from three over their last 10 games, shooting the ball poorly. On the other side of things, Utah 46.8 from the field and 36.6 from three. We have Nang out, but everybody who was in the lineup yesterday is expected to go. Love questionable, if that matters. Washington is out here for Dallas. So let's pull up the line history and set this one up for everybody. Mavericks coming off of that 198 victory on Tuesday at Sacramento. They've won 2 straight. That came on the heels of a losing streak. Speaking of losing streaks, that's what the Jazz are on right now. Very, very legit losing streak right now. But that game, 129-125 overtime at OKC was pretty nice, man. It was a pretty impressive performance. Line history.
They've had some good performances in the last week. They just haven't translated into W's.
Well, you're right. And we had Dan Kelly tell us to move on the Jazz to make the play-in. And that was at 40-1 at the time. Now they're 2-9 in their last 11, so that has not helped at all. But that, Dan Kelly gave us that. This total is a 241. Opened up at 241.5 and moved heavily to the under. This got down to a 236 at midnight, then all the way back up to a 242. Now we're sitting at a 241. It's a half-point move towards the under, but that doesn't really tell the story of what the hell's happened with it. On the spread here, we have Dallas minus 6.5. Opened up at 6.5, got up to 8.5. Now it's 6.5. Dallas on the road as 6.5-point favorites is absolutely wild. They're 4-12 on the road. How could they be this big of a favorite? Take it away for us here. Brizzy, my man, Kripke says this game is absolute trash. Let's hear what Brizzy thinks of this spot. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, I don't want to be victim to what I've seen last, but damn, I can't help but not lean towards Utah. I feel like if you're betting this game, you might as well take the money line in this spot rather than the spread. I think the money line on Utah is in play. Shouts to Manbird Pig, always in the Discord. I know he always plays those big NBA dogs. This would be one I would circle. I mean, I would love to see the Utah Jazz injury news report after the heartbreaker OT loss last night. With teams on the second night of a back-to-back, they don't have to submit their injury news report until later in the day. This line's very wide for Dallas. Their last win was their first road win in over a month, 4-12 straight up on the road this season. 3 weeks ago, if you remember this game, this was the game that Cooper Flagg had 42 points, but Utah actually won the game in overtime. So I'm on Cooper Flagg over 20.5 points. Granted, I know he had 42 last time he played against him, but he's going under him. This is more of a play on how bad, not bad, but he's gone under him 4 straight games, and you couldn't have asked for a better spot ever against the Utah Jazz on the second night of a back-to-back. Second most points allowed to guards. Struggle versus spot-up shooters. You also got Cooper Flagg kind of running the show now with Anthony Davis kind of being on the trade block here. I think it's going to be some Cooper Flagg exposure here, and I think the Utah matchup's really good for him. I got 20.5 points at minus 132, but as I digress, I kind of lean towards the Jazz winning this game outright, hence why I like the Cooper Flagg player. I think there's going to be a high-scoring, close game, but the caveat to this game is you might not want to move on it right now. I mean, if Larry Markkinen or Keontae George get ruled out of this game, I mean, how many times have we seen Jazz games just get blown up spread-wise and total-wise with one of those two out of the lineup? You might be able to get – you might be able to get 8.5, 9 points depending on who's in and out of the lineup. So I would just wait on this contingent just wait on this patiently. I mean, it's a 9 o'clock start, but I think it's Utah or pass, but you just want to see who's in or out because it's just a price thing. I think if you're betting a 6.5 point underdog, the fact that you could possibly get them at a better number of 7.5 or 9.5, it could make all the difference at the end of the game here. We saw in Dallas's last game, it went right down to the stretch. Yeah, they won the money line, but they didn't cover ATS-wise.
Yeah, I think all of that makes a lot of sense here. We have a Stacks play of the day. Number 2 is the over 241.5 in Mavericks Jazz. Over 241.5 in Mavericks Jazz. That flag prop was 20.5 points. 20.5 minus 132.
Minus 132. Put it in the Discord this morning.
I love it. I love it.
Shouts to
I am
the
going to
Silver
move,
Gold members.
I'm going to move on the Heat, and I'm going to move on the Cavs, and I do have some interest in the Pacers. Some. I would like to see sort of. I'm going to see what happens with this market, so I'm going to wait a little bit, but at this point, I'm going to move on the Heat and the Cavs as soon as the show's over. Be the first thing I do.
The Pacers one is hard because if Nembhard's ruled out, if that goes to like 5.5, 6, that might be the sweet spot number that you would want to get rather than paying for a 4.5 right now.
Yeah, I think that we need to know what the hell's going on with Nembhard. I agree completely with that take there. Brizzy, so for you, official action is Cavs money line and Cooper Flag over 20.5.
Yes, sir. The last thing that I'm looking to add is something with this Miami game. This Miami game, it's like one of the hardest things to do in the NBA is like you like the spot, but there's multiple angles within the spot that you like. Like coming off a big loss, kind of like them early, but with the Chicago fade situation, you would want to fade them late with the tired leg. So I got to sit with the Miami thing a little bit more of like how I kind of want to attack it because could just say fucking and parlay with some tennis.
All right, I feel you, my man. So I guess should we wait for the tweet to make it official?
Yeah, the Miami thing, we got to wait for the tweet. Because I got to figure out how I want to attack that one because I definitely agreed. Like you want to fade them late here in this spot for the Bulls, but they could just be up at half where you can make money on it as well.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you. We got Cavs money line flag over 20.5 official for Brizzy. I'm going to be on the -7 for the Heat, Cavs plus whatever I can get. And then I'm interested in the Pacers. We have Justin McKelvey, Kyle Kerms on Pacers money line. So I will wait and see. Shout out to a couple cappers who have signed up for the confidence pool. We have Salty Pete just signed up for the confidence pool, and Rushia just signed up for the confidence pool. We're now double digits. We need more. I'm not signed up yet. I've got to get my get that all up in Adam. So there's going to be a lot more signups, but thank you to all of you who have signed up. It means a ton to us. So please keep signing up for the confidence pool. Brizzy, my man, I'm going to pop your X handle in the chat. Thank you for all that you do for us, my man. It means the world. Thank you. Let me put your X handle in the chat. What's the week ahead for you, my friend?
Yeah, we got the ADP and WTA Brisbane tournament. So like the hometown tournament for me. I've been posting the notes in the Discord and stuff like that. Been heating up as the week has gone along. So hopefully have some more winners here while we have this nice little UFC time off, but should be popping out some content and stuff like that in the near future. So make sure you follow me over on X at @gettingbills_ and Billy Brisbane DFS over on IG. Shouts to the cappers, hustlers, and gamblers, man. It's a big day here. Thursday's the start of the weekend here.
It is, as Carter, my son, and R. Kelly would say, it's the start of the freaking weekend, man. The freaking weekend. We are double digits for the confidence pool. Please sign up. And also, tomorrow, we are racing for free entry to the confidence pool. So Friday, we are closing up the week with one of our silver or gold members getting $100 free entry into our big confidence pool. Jose, my friend, how are you?
Doing well. Ready to attack today. Molly the dog's ready to poo. So it should be an exciting next few minutes for me.
Sounds like a very, very exciting next few minutes. We got Just My 2 Cents shouting you out, SN1P5. Let's review all action here from our show. Spooner on the board with Hofstra moneyline. Billy Friedrich's Pig Milk play of the day is SIU Edwardsville -2.5. Shout out to our guy Billy Friedrich. We have action from Billy. Not only is he on and just cashed with Hofstra +2, but he's on Hampton +8.5, FDU -2.5, Coastal Carolina -3.5, West Georgia -2.5. Stacks play day number 1 from Justin McKelvey's the Hurricanes, team total over 27.5. Number 2, play day number 2 is Jazz Mavericks over 241.5, over 241.5 -109. Stacks play day number 2. The Nuke Worker is on the Hurricanes -3. We have Nuke Worker also on the Hurricanes +425 to win it all right after they beat the Buckeyes. Jose Perez cashing Hofstra team total over 66.5. Excellent work. In the National Hockey League, we have Bobano on the over 6.5 at +100 in Calgary, Boston. We have no action from us in Panthers Habs. I'm going to be on the Red Wings. I was just waiting to see how far this line was going to move in the Canucks direction, which I just find insane. Bobano and I are both on the Buffalo Sabres. We're on other sides of the fence in the total for the Leafs Flyers. Bobano on the over 5.5 -135. I'm on the first period under and the full game under 1.5 at +105 and the full game under 6 at -110. Hildebee's being announced in, so this line has moved against me slightly. We're both on the New Jersey Devils. I'm on them first period. We do have our guy TJ on the other side of that. He's on the Penguins. Bobano on the over 6.5 and Ducks Hurricanes. I'm on the Hurricanes -1.5. We have over 5.5 in Islanders Nashville for Bobano and the draw +300. We're both on the Oilers -110. He's on the over 6 as well. I guess I could take the Oilers team total over as well. They're just like a lukewarm favorite. Could get that 3 for pretty cheap. First period over 1.5 for Ottawa, Colorado for Bobano. He's on the over 6.5 and he's on the Avs. Team total over 4.5 +140. I'm on the Avalanche puck line. Bobano is on the Jackets money line, the +140. And he's on the over 5.5 and Wild Kraken. I would like to join him on that. I'm already on the Wild -1. Then Spooner gave us UMass Lowell +3.5, Bellarmine +3.5, William and Mary -2.5, UT Martin -1.5, Seattle first half -1.5, and San Francisco Dons money line at +105. And we just capped the NBA. That is our show for today. A nice job, Res Mob, getting it, man. Res Mob, Philly Eagle Flyer, AOD. I should have listened to Los Chudy, who told me to leave it in God's hands after I made the mistake live betting, which I bought out of. It doesn't look good. 23 seconds left, down 12. Chris Warren, Elmore, TC, Jerry Davis. Thank you guys. Turnbuckle Tommy, Fernando Mendoza, Rob Free, Justin McKelvey, Crip Key, Jerry Davis. Thank you guys all so much, man, for all that you do for us. It means everything to us. Go out there and get that cash. Great to have Kyle Kerms in the chat. Also had fucking Buckeye legend David Boston in the chat, man. It's nice to have a 8th overall pick in the NFL draft in our chat. So shout out to the Boston family. I know his pops retired, was a referee in the NFL, retired about 3 years ago. So shout out to the whole Boston family, man. Nice to have him here rocking with us, supporting the show. Boston had my back since my days in Costa Rica. So it's dope to have him in the chat. Thank you to all of you guys for your support. Jose, my man, thank you for all that you do for us. Let's put a bow on the proceedings here, my friend. Fucking now Towson hits the 3. 7 seconds left. That's good of him. Good of him to do that. Jose, please lead us in the future. Huge day tomorrow. Also a free roll to get into the confidence pool for our silver and gold members. Jose, take us home, my man.
Yes, and Mark, I believe you did just recap your college basketball, correct?
I am not on. I just lost with Towson. After taking the bath that I took yesterday, Mark, I just need to take a breather here. Take a breather. And just lost a live bet. A little frazzled here in college basketball.
Accidentally bet the wrong side too.
I bought out of it, and then it didn't cost me much. Bought out of it, but I'm frazzled, man. I'm frazzled. Kripke says get back on Tennessee Martin. I'm gonna now. I have a little bit of time here, so I will take a once over everything here. But we have a massive show tomorrow, of which I'm gonna start working on right now. Jose, take us home, my friend.
Yep. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Good luck. Joseph Gomez, there's no wedding in New Jersey that I'm going to. It's in Virginia. So I wish you luck with your wedding in New Jersey, but I will see you guys hopefully very soon. Shout out to you, Kripke, Spoons. Great job today as well. Kongs, good luck. I like Miami tonight, but good luck. I don't have any money on it, so I'll be watching and rooting for everyone. But most importantly, sign up for the confidence pool right now. If you have any issues, email us at pubsportsradio.com. But sign up. And don't forget let's go make some money today. And leche, los bookmakers.